Welcome everybody to another amazing episode of the AUSNZ HCR2 Community Podcast. This is a continuation from the last episode, which was amazing and huge with three different players from the amazing Empire team. And of course, we're going to back it up with three more players from the amazing Empire team. We have Dev, Mox, and RT, but we'll get to them in just a minute. Before we do, welcome Pete on Father's Day in Australia, and welcome JR. How was the toast this morning, Pete?
It was delicious. Good toast. It's good bacon.
Happy Father's Day.
Really good coffee.
Pete.
Thank you
And
so
to
much,
all
guys.
the dads in the AUSNZ community Discord server. Happy Father's Day
Happy
to
Father's
everyone.
Day.
Yep, happy Father's Day. So, so another great episode with huge people on. A couple of people coming back, which is good. Pete and JR, how's everything going outside of Father's Day?
Yeah, really, really good. Work's been picking up again, so maybe hopefully a little bit of overtime. Who knows?
Ooh, perfect.
But yeah, the weather's picking up. It's starting to get into shorts weather now. So yeah, everything is good on my end. How about you, Jack Rabbit?
Well, nothing much for me, but I think Maury is flying back to Australia. So Maury, have a safe flight back to Australia.
Mm-hmm. How about
What about you,
Eva?
Yeah, everything's going well. I was saying you've seen the photo of me being Milli Vanilli last night, which was good fun.
Yes.
How
was it?
We kind of danced for 3.5 hours, and then my knee said, "Not tonight."
Did you dance to Blame It on the Rain?
No.
No?
It was a hodgepodge of real old school 80s and 90s stuff. It was terrible music. It was terrible music, and when I say terrible, I mean it was fantastic. But anybody else who listening would have gone, "Oh my god, that's terrible." No, it was a really good night. Really good night. Good laugh.
Awesome.
We're raising money for a tennis club, so it was good fun.
Oh, cool.
So,
Perfect.
yeah, and I don't play tennis, so it's even funnier. But yeah, no, it was all good. So, let's go straight into this because again, this is going to be a very big episode. We've got three amazing players and a whole bunch of questions from the community. Unless we wanted to talk a little bit about the update and the bus. Has any of you? This is a question open to everybody here. Has anybody done anything with mastering
Mastered
on
the
the bus
bus.
here?
I think
Do we
I've got
let them
about
say hello
200
first?
XP.
I've only gotten to the first one where the roof comes off automatically. And I've played.
I'm halfway to the first.
Halfway to the first. Okay, I've played. I've played with the starting with the moon with the bus open, and I've driven for almost 4,500 k's and not been able to break it in half. So I'm not sure whether it will break in half or not. But I'll do a bit more playing in the meantime since then, and then find out what happens and report on that next episode. But yeah, and the Savannah track is quite. Has anybody played the Savannah track yet?
I actually really like the
No.
Savannah track, and I'm not a adventure player by any means. Like it
Mm.
seems like it's not like the last few adventure tracks that they've released where they're like incredibly difficult, where it's easy to die. Like this one, I think my first run was like, I don't know, 6,000 with rally car, and it was like refreshing that it wasn't, like all kinds of like obstacles and things that you have to, just deal with and be a great adventure player to do. So
Yeah. I've managed 6,000 meters in the jet ski.
Wow.
And I was playing that because I just started, from one end and just played every single car in it. And I went, oh yeah, what the hell? And I got to the jet ski and I'm like, I'm actually going pretty well. And of course, as soon as you say I'm going pretty well, you hit your head. You hit your head, right? But yeah, that was like 6,000 meters in. I was pretty happy. So I've already got 100,000, over 100,000 stars on it, which was pretty crazy because, like you said, the other maps. I think the other 3 maps combined is over about 150. With one map being really low and one map being almost 80,000 stars. So yeah, it's been a fun map to play. There are a couple of little pitfalls and stuff like that, but they're easy to get around and it's good fun to play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've never been an adventure guy, but I've only ran a few vehicles on it, but it was enjoyable. I mean, I think it's
yeah,
better than the last few that came out. So
yeah. I mean, those other ones have been a bit trying, and you just go, oh, for God's sakes, why do I bother? Why do I persist? Alrighty, so without further ado, let's introduce our 3 guests. Pete, do you want to do the honours?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I'm going to introduce a nice welcome back to Devastator. Good to have you back.
Thank you. Yeah, good to be here.
Not a problem. Yeah, good to have you back again. Next up is Moxie, also known as Little Bro on the Empire server. So welcome to you.
Thank you.
No worries. And finally, RT, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. It's great to be here.
Not a problem. Thank you. Did you guys want to tell us a little bit about yourselves, like your game history, perhaps? I'll start off with Devastator.
Oh, geez. Sure. I've been playing slightly since after the game started. I'd say probably about a year in. A guy at work got me hooked onto it. So I don't know. What's that been? I don't know, 6 years now, maybe something like that.
I think it started in 2018 or 2017, 2018. So
okay,
2018, I think it was.
That sounds about right then. Yeah, 5 years, maybe 6, somewhere around there. That was before the game really did anything cool. Pretty much all we did was run dailies against each other and guys at work and stuff like that. Teams came out. It was fun. We created our own, and things really started getting interesting. I mean, that's when it became really fun for me. The rest of the story will come out along the way here, so I'm not going to elaborate too much at this time. But yeah, I've been playing a while, and yeah, I'll pass the torch.
Awesome, thank you. Moxie?
So I started when COVID started, and it really helped get me through all that. Found a liking with the adventure stuff a lot. I spent probably 8 hours a day during COVID doing that. And
that was like a full-time job, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually found the Empire family, which was then, oh boy, before the New Order. So over 2 years ago, and been here ever since.
You've been loving it ever since, obviously.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. RT, how about you, mate? Where'd you start off?
Yeah, so I was actually playing the original Hill Climb Racing game, and then Hill Climb Racing 2 came out, and I downloaded that, and I was playing that. I used to scrap everything just to build up Rally and Superbike, and I think Supercar at the time were the 3 bigger ones, and found out later that was going to be a problem once Teams came out. But yeah, I started playing in teams like right around the end of 2019, so a little bit before COVID. Was on Kicking Asphalt originally, and was with them
that's
for
a
a
good
while
name.
before. Yeah, no, it was a great name, great team. And then I ended up going to Discord for a while, about a year, and then moved over to Chaos with Dev and became a leader there. And then through the merge with TNO to become TNK, and then Out of Order, and then merge with Global Legion, and here we are with Empire.
So basically, everyone's been following Dev wherever he goes.
Not quite. I'm just always in the mix somehow.
Yeah, that's good. Awesome, guys. Thank you.
I have
Absolutely.
a question. I have a question for the three of you. How many accounts do you have, and are they all playing for the CC division? I would like to ask Mox first.
I only have one.
Oh.
That's this one.
Mm-hmm.
So
So you didn't
yeah.
get tempted or plan to have an out?
Nope.
Nope.
I
Okay, that's fine.
didn't want to go through it again.
Yeah. Okay. And what about you, Dev? How many accounts?
Yeah, we can't all be like Flip, right? I have two.
Okay.
One obviously is on Empire.
Yeah.
The second one is currently pretty much wasting space on KD No Handouts. They moved down to Division 1.
Mm-hmm.
They came up to CC and wanted some firepower, so me and a couple of the guys from Empire, we jumped over to help them out for the season.
Cool.
They ended up moving down last season, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just been kind of hanging out there. I don't plan it much, but
Mm-hmm.
when I have to, I will.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Yes. And RT, what about you?
So I have 3 accounts. So we're going 1, 2, 3 here.
Mm-hmm.
My main account stays on the Empire main team. I think I left once for about a month just to take a month off and really not think about the game and not play at all. The second one right now is on Empire 2, but that, like I've mentioned, went to help out KD No Handouts when they were in CC. Usually it's there, and occasionally it bounces around. And then my third account actually started off playing on E3, but moved to a team called Majestic Kings in Div 2. It's a bunch of players that I've played with in Kicking Asphalt that I've known for 5 years now, and it's my lowest account, but it's Division 2, so I end up being up there most matches and get a chance to help them and continue to stay in touch with them and develop those friendships and relationships. So great for me.
Yes. That's what's great about having alt accounts. Yeah. All right. Eva, do you have anything to ask them?
Yeah, I had a question because we never asked this last episode,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought we really should have. But so the new order and the Empire naming. So who's the Star Wars geek? Is my question.
It's funny you say that, because I actually reached out to Flip a couple nights ago, just in preparation for our podcast tonight, and I was like, hey, could you whip me up like a spreadsheet of everything that has become what we are? And he's like, yeah, give me like 2 minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is going to take way longer than that. No,
he probably had something already sorted out.
He already had it done. So it was done with boxes.
Has it got a pivot table?
It was
charts.
Yeah, I mean, he did it up like a family tree, like from the beginning to the end.
I need to see this. I really need to see this.
It's quite interesting. I have it downloaded on my phone. I actually scratched out a really poor version of it on a sheet of paper because I figured this question would come out. But apparently, Cheese started it, and when Cheese left, Flip decided to take it over and fill it in as we went along. and correct things here and there. Others can chime in too, but the Empire thing is kind of interesting. So obviously, when we joined up with TNO, the first thing we went to was TNK, or the New Chaos, and then some felt that was a little hokey, or like relied too much on the chaos side of it. So we decided on Out of Order, and that made sense in many ways, the New Order and then chaos being out of order. So I was like, okay, this makes sense. And of course, when it came time to, pick our new name, everybody pretty much, we asked everybody's input on the server, anybody on the team, hey, throw names out there, throw ideas out. And so we picked the top 15, narrowed it down to the top 10, then the top 5, and then we all voted. The Empire thing, yeah, I mean, there's many reasons why we picked it, but there's obviously, we have really cool Star Wars references, right? Verchak is a huge outer space travel connoisseur, if you will. He loves that kind of stuff. And so that was very fitting as well. And we just wanted a name that was real, powerful. And in the end, that got the most votes. And that's what we ended up with.
Okay, so the answer is there's lots of Star Wars fanboys on there.
Something like that, yeah.
No, I think it's pretty wild, though, to like what Deb was saying, is that, it ultimately did come down to a vote. I mean, we started with 100 plus names that people were throwing out there. I mean, it was literally a channel to Out of Order, and Global Legion after we merged, that, what should our name be? And hundreds and, of names. And ultimately, like Deb said, it got whittled down, and everybody picked Empire, and I, thought it's a great name. I'm a big Star Wars buff, so it worked out for me. But yeah, it's a cool name, and it works out, right? I mean, we're the evil Empire, I guess.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No. I was, because I thought I actually put it in the title of the last episode. We never asked, and I'm like, damn, we should have asked. So I thought, no, I'm going to get in straight away and just go for it. So yeah,
and it sounds like we really do need to get Flip on, because he took over, didn't he? We really need to get Flip. So Flip,
we keep trying and trying, but he keeps avoiding. So we'll keep trying.
avoiding.
I tried to. I tried.
No. You did quite well in the try, I must say. So no, we will keep trying as well. So
Flip is amazing, and he adds a lot to Empire and every team that he's on. He's a great person. So shout out to Flip.
Well, I mean,
sure.
I've played on Team Canada. I had a little round and played on Canada. Played on a couple of other teams, and I see Flip's name in so many servers and so many different places, and he's always offering advice. He's always helping people. He's a stand-up, really nice guy, and I just figure, that's kind of who we're looking for on this podcast. So, but yeah, we'll get there. We'll keep twisting.
He's flipping amazing, isn't he?
Yes. Alrighty. So, should we just get stuck into the community questions?
Yes, unless you guys had a personal question to ask before we get into it.
No, my personal question was just asked. So,
yeah, awesome. We'll get into it.
Alrighty. JR, you go first.
Oh yeah, I posted my own question here.
Yep.
My first question is to everyone is, what car do you drive? And what is your dream car? And the third question is, if you ever go on a road trip, which 3 Empire members would you take along with you, and where would you go? RT, you can go first.
Oh wow, put on the spot. I'm just gonna try and write down some ideas. All right. So the first question was, what kind of car do I drive? I drive a Land Rover Defender, one of the newer ones. So that's my current car. It's great, love it. It's good for city driving. We do a lot of camping and off-roading as a family, so it's nice for that as well. So that's current car. Dream car. So my non-stretch dream car, because everybody would like a Ferrari or Lamborghini or something like that. Probably an M5. I used to have an M3 when I was a little younger. Loved it, but it was it was a sedan. Or it wasn't a sedan. It was just a two-door, and when you have a family, you can't really do it. But I think an M5 would be a great car to have. That horsepower.
Just in a question, are you talking about the V10 M5 or are you talking about the older V8 M5?
Yeah, I didn't even know that they changed to the new V10s.
There was a V10. There was a V10 M5 that it sounded stupid. It was just amazing. And the original M5 that was what they used to use around the ring for the taxis was a straight 6, which was fantastic as well. But the V10s.
No, I mean the 500 horsepower ones.
Yeah, that's kind of all of them.
Okay.
No.
Because I had my M3 back in 2008.
Okay.
That time frame. So I had like a 2004 M3 between like 2006 and 2008.
And that was a straight 6, yeah? That was a straight 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they made a V8 M3 as well.
Okay, yeah, I've been out of the BMW club for a little while.
No. I just love cars. So hence me ask. Sorry, I digress. Go back to what you were saying.
He's a bit of a car nut. He has an engine in his living room.
I have a V8 coffee table.
So I'm not that big of a car nut, but but no, I loved the M5, or I really wanted the M5 because I had the M3, and it was like 350 horsepower, and just it was a 6-speed. It was great. They don't make stick shifts almost ever anymore in cars, and then the M5 was kind of like that next step up, that upgrade that I always wanted. But then I got married, I had a child, and it just didn't really make sense. We needed more of like a bigger SUV type vehicle. So I've had SUVs since, and now I ended up in the Defender.
Yeah, cool.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And the third question, if you're going to go on a road trip, which 3 Empire members would you take along with you and where would you go?
Oh, wow. It's a tough one. Well, I mean, we talked a lot about Flip, so I think I'd have Flip come along because I've known Flip since that's how I ended up on Chaos, actually. Flip was on Kicking Asphalt, and I met him there, and we became friends. So Flip would be one. I'd take Ollie as well. I think Ollie and I, he's a younger guy. We've had a lot of conversations just about life and stuff. He's a great dude. We've also had a lot of disagreements, so I think it would be an interesting mix, kind of like throw that in there.
Yeah.
And then for the third, Mose, I think, actually. He's my age, really interesting cat from the UK, just like Ollie. And I think we bonded a lot over, family life and everything and kind of being in that same age. So those would be my 3.
Yeah.
And as far as where we would road trip, I don't know. How about like a camping road trip all the way across the US? Stay in like, national parks, the Yellowstone, everywhere kind of along the way. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Just a chance to talk and bond and have fun.
I'd be happy to be strapped to the roof for that.
It'd be great to have you.
I'll be strapped underneath. I can hang on to the bottom of the car.
Oh, that's
Jack
a very
Babbitt, you're
good
on the
answer.
back. Hold on to the
Best place.
Well, if you want, we could all actually fit in my car. So
Yellowstone's on my bucket list. That's all.
Oh, that's very nice. And okay, Moxie, what about you? Do you drive?
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay,
And
what car do you drive, and what's your dream car?
I have a Subaru Impreza,
Mm.
Nice.
cheap teenage car.
Perfect, I'd say.
Dream, I'd say either a Dodge Challenger Hellcat
Oh, nice.
or maybe a 3/4 ton Dodge pickup, diesel. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so who's the three Empire members should take on a road
Oh
trip
boy.
with you?
Rex, definitely. That's gonna happen soon, probably.
Nice.
Sean, and this is gonna go old school, but there was a guy named Ryan that
Oh,
has been inactive for a while. They kind of
okay.
started. They kind of started the new order. So put up
Mm.
him.
Then where would you go?
Maybe out west. I've never been out west. I've only been in the
Probably
Northeast.
do some fishing, camping, hiking.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and Devastator Dev,
Hi.
your turn.
I drive a 24 F-150. My last 3 vehicles have been F-150s. I love them. I'm all about the EcoBoost life. Yeah, twin turbo V6 guys, right?
Yeah, no, they're actually releasing the F-150 in Australia finally,
Nice.
and there was this huge uproar that we're not getting a V8, and everybody started freaking out like, "Oh my God, we're not getting a V8!" And the only V8 available here is the Dodge Ram, and they reckon that the Dodge Ram is going to annihilate sales of the F-150 because of this. But in saying that, Toyota have also brought the Tundra over as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
what about the Silverado? Is that a V8?
I'm not sure what the Silverado is. No, it's a six. It's a 6 as well. Yeah, in Australia, it's a 6 as well. Yeah, which is really sad. Really sad. But yeah, that twin turbo V6 is really good. Really good. Anyway, I don't know why people complain.
Is. No, it is. It is. I mean, it can. Don't get me wrong, the 5-liter Coyote engine that they put in the Fords is amazing as well. Obviously, they use it for the Mustangs. They use it for the, the new Dark Horse. They put it in the, GT 500s and everything. They're awesome, but your twin turbo V6, your 3.5s or the 2.7s, either one, you can make stupid horsepower with easy tuning. I mean, it's not hard to put 500 to the wheels just with a tune on one of these.
Yeah. No, it's you got to remember that Australians, on the majority of the Australians, are knuckle dragging apes that like the grunt from a V8. No matter how small the number is, it says V8 on the side, and that's all that matters.
And it's funny you mention it, that the Ram is coming to Australia now and it has the V8, because here, the dealership I work for is Chrysler.
Yep.
And they have discontinued the Hemi in absolutely everything. So they are all the new Hurricane straight 6 twin turbo.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably going to end. Because we were in Australia, the Rams were imported and converted here. They weren't brought in with right hand drive, you see. So you might be right. We might be losing a V8 Ram very soon. So yeah, because the the V8 that one of my customers has got one, and he's it's the hybrid, inverted commas hybrid, and the way he talks about it, the hybrid part is absolutely almost useless, but it's great to get it launched off the line.
They call it in the Hemis. They call it e-torque.
E-torque. Yep.
It's not quite a hybrid, but it kind of is.
No. It works like a starter motor that doesn't stop starting the engine.
Yeah. So your alternator is also your starter.
Yep.
You know, it runs around 45 volts instead of 12. Yeah,
Yep.
produces a little extra punch, but nothing to write home about.
No. He was, the way he was talking about it, I'm like, it just sounds like a really big starter motor. And he goes, "Oh, well, kind of is."
Pretty much.
So, I mean, not like it's missing any torque anyway. No, that's cool. Sorry, we digress. I should shut up.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Dream car, Shelby GT500 Super Snake.
Oh, wow.
Hands down, yes, please. I'll take 2.
One for Saturday,
What
one for Sunday.
color?
Yep. So that's mine.
Okay.
Road trip. This is a tough one, and I'm gonna answer your question and not answer it at the same time. So I can't pick just 3, but I'll tell you, I've had this odd idea in my head that one day, you know, all of us older guys that are, you know, well off in our careers and stuff like that can somehow put together a thing where, you know, kind of like a Comic-Con type thing, but it's Empire players, just less nerdy.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
I would like one day just to get a big group of us together someplace, you know, kind of like someplace in the middle of everyone. But the problem is we have a ton of international players too. So will that ever happen? Probably not. But it would be fun. It would be fun.
Yeah.
You know, see a lot of the players' faces in person and, you know, hang out, have some drinks and some food and, you know, make a couple nights of it. But who knows? I mean, if I had to take 3 on a trip, like RT said, Flip's definitely going to be one of them, for sure. I've already met R. Diddy in person. He was super cool. I would definitely do it again, and I'd love to have him along for the ride. And I guess RT will remember this name, but I haven't heard from him in a while. But Lupin. He was always a cool guy. I'd love to have him along for a ride. Haven't heard from him in a while. I'm assuming he's still playing. But yeah, I mean, there's many others that I'd throw in the back of the bus too if I was driving the bus. But
yes, a bus would be nice.
Yeah.
Then where would you go?
Well, Empire would need a big bus. We need like 6 of them.
Maybe this is going to sound really funny, but maybe a boat cruise. Everybody gets on the boat.
Oh yeah.
The Wi-Fi will get harassed by everybody playing team events at the same time.
Where would we go? You know, all I can really think about is different places I've visited as far as family vacations and stuff. And I think Indian Shores, Florida, was one of my favorite places that we went. It was super cool. Close to everything. Local bars all up and down the strip. Tons of really good restaurants. You walk right down to the beach. Tons of fun to be had. I mean, you can't run out of things to do. So, Indian Shores, that's my answer.
I've got a couple of questions from myself for each of you. I'll start off with my question for Dev. I'm not sure if many of you know this, but you used to be in a heavy metal band. Do you still play with them from time to time?
I don't. So last time I played was right around about a year or so after my last child was born, my son. So it's been a good 6-7 years since I partaked in any live playing or recording or anything like that. I still have all my equipment and play from time to time, but as far as part of a group, no. I haven't. I'm getting old, and kids.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so
HCR2, they take up your time.
What instrument did you play?
Drums.
Oh, wow.
That explains being good at jump shocks.
You would think either that or it's like it's hindering me in my old age, right? All that stick work, and then now they get sore from playing jump shocks for 3 minutes.
Awesome. And what was your favorite gig you ever played at?
Oh geez. I was young. I don't even think I was 16 yet. There was a band out at the time that I was a big fan of. I don't think they're together anymore, but the name of the band was Shadows Fall. They were pretty big around here for a while. They had just released their first studio album, and I loved it. Got to remember, this is before YouTube and stuff like that. So if you heard of them, you walked down to the record store, saw the outside of the CD cover, and you're like, oh, I think I might like that, so I'm going to buy it. So I did. Just turns out a few months later, they were playing a show at the iRock in Detroit, and we signed up. We sent in our audition tape, and we ended up opening up for them. It was great. It was fun. I enjoyed watching them more than I enjoyed playing the show, pretty much. I mean, I was like, man, this is pretty cool. It was also one of the first big actual metal shows that I watched. I mean, I've saw bands like Kiss and stuff like that before, and Skid Row and stuff like that, but I was never no big metal shows. And so I went and seen one of my favorite ones, and I ended up opening up for them. So that was cool. I enjoyed it.
That's so cool.
Really,
I wish I
really
played
cool.
music. Do you have anything out there that people can listen to, or is it nothing really got released on YouTube or Spotify or anything like that?
I kind of do. I leave that to my manager, Flip. I've sent him the recordings. I do have some in my Google Drive, so I'll try to dig them out and send some to you guys if you like. The early stuff was not done digital, so they were actually on physical CDs. Do you guys remember CDs?
Yeah.
What are they?
Do I remember CDs?
Yeah.
I'm too young to remember 8-track, but I do remember cassettes.
I go back to tapes too. Yeah.
What are those?
Aren't they those things that you hang off your fruit trees to keep the birds away?
So
CDs.
those I do not have uploaded, and you know what? I've looked for my copy of that CD for years now. I have no idea where it's at, but I'll find what I can and I'll share it with you guys.
Well, computers
Awesome.
Computers haven't had CD drives, or laptops haven't had CD drives in like 10 years now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really sad.
It is.
Yeah. Ah, well.
And that's awesome. I'll move on to the next question. I've got one for RT. Why did you name yourself after Rat and just remove the A from your name?
As hard as it may be to believe, that's not actually how it went down. But it's too bad that it isn't. No, I mean, it's everyone always asks like, where does RT come from? Like, what a racing truck, and it's really not that exciting. Like, I hate to let everybody down. It's just my initials. That's all it is. So when I first started playing that game, when it came out, it asked for a name, and I was like, this is stupid. Like, I don't want to do this crap. So I just put in my initials, and I've basically been RT ever since HCR2 happened.
Excellent. So you have the same amount of imagination as me.
Yes.
pretty much, yeah.
Yep. That's awesome. Are you willing to tell us what the name is, or no, keep that a secret?
I can't, because it's a little more uncommon. so it wouldn't really work very well, especially given what I do.
Okay. All right. Not a problem. Moxie, I'd like to know, what is the best bait to use to catch the most fish? And do you have any hidden gem fishing spots that you'd like to share?
So when I go fishing, I go with a friend of mine, and we go for largemouth bass. They're big, very popular.
A big mouth.
Yes. I like, they're called Senkos. They're like 6-inch long, rubbery worm things.
Okay.
And they come in many colors and work pretty well.
Is that
Awesome.
live bait? Is that live bait?
No.
The rubbery.
Yeah, they're like rubbery plastic
Oh, okay.
worm things.
They're like a lure, but not really.
Yeah, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Cool. And do you have any favorite spots that you go?
A real
Or is that
fisherman
like a big...
doesn't share those.
Yeah, I was hoping you would. Do you go off a jetty, beach, or out in a boat?
Boat.
Yeah, nice. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all my questions. Eva? No?
Okay. Well, I asked the question I wanted to on my own question. So I'm going to start from the top.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is a question from Marine Mike. He's asked your thoughts on the bus masteries and the nerfing of the Moonlander. Do you think overall masteries are good for the game? Dev, what about you?
I do, and I read the rest of his question too. He was kind of wondering if it was like a
Yeah.
last cash grab before Hill Climb 3 came out, and no, I think the complete opposite. So my views on it are, if this game stayed the same all the time, okay, nothing changed, they didn't do anything different, we would all lose interest, right? So now we have masteries. Have you seen your team's KMs like go through the roof? Like everybody is running more, everybody is playing more. There's new things to strive for. So people are like, okay, I can unlock all these bus masteries, and hey, I might be able to beat some muscle car world records. And they're going for it, and it's great. No, I think masteries are good. I mean, I think it's just given us another element to the game that we can have fun, enjoy or try to reach different levels. I think the people that you're going to hear, complaining about the most are ones that really just don't want to take the time to do it. But then again, you're just kind of set in your ways at that point, right? I mean,
Yeah. I mentioned this in a channel on our server only recently. Everybody, all we're ever saying is we don't like this, we don't like that, we don't like this, we don't like that. And if all the feedback that Fingersoft is getting is all the negatives, what do they start working on first? I always say, my customers, I say, look, if you need something urgent, just put urgent in your email header. But if I get 100 emails from you and every single one says urgent, then what's urgent?
right.
So
Right.
if everybody's
Right.
complaining about something that's not working or it's bad, where do you start fixing? What do you start fixing? But I'm in the same token. I really, really like the masteries for the people who have, almost maxed their accounts. And I've got, millions of coins that I can't do anything with. And I've been asking for this for 12 to 18 months on the podcast, saying, I want something to do with my coins, So I
Oh yeah,
agree. I
yeah.
agree.
So
It is overall good for the game.
it's all like me and RT, and maybe even Mox. I think he's getting up there too. As far as GP goes and everything, and
Yep.
I'm sure me and RT, we've got coins and gems just sitting around, just waiting to burn. And this is perfect. And it's going to be the lower GP players that say, oh, it's unfair, or I had a world record and I only have 8,000 GP. Now it was broken because of mastery. And I get it, but again, you have to think it from a company standpoint too. It's going to strive all the players to play more, be more active. There's so many more things to do with the game now than there was 5 years ago. And I enjoy it. As far as Moonlander goes, I have mixed feelings. I thought it was a little extreme how far you could go with level 1 thrusters. But to be honest, I mean, they made a long jump out of it right afterwards. So it's tough to say. I would say that something in between would be more acceptable. Like maybe, tone it down by 20%. But now they've made it to the fact where level 1 does pretty much nothing. I think Vera made that video where he got about 50 more meters out of it with the eco thrust versus not having it. So you've pretty much just nerfed the entire first mastery for Moonlander. I think they went to one extreme than the other. They should have went somewhere in the middle.
I agree.
Yeah.
It burns away too quickly for level 1 thrusters.
The way I looked at that level 1 thrusters is it was allowing us to have some fun on the moon map only, and the moon map only was limited by tickets. So I didn't see it as being an issue, because I thought, if you are going to use it on the moon map, you can have some fun with it. And I enjoyed, flying for as long as I could, grabbing a fuel, flying for a bit longer, and exploring some of those intricate spots where there's 3 or 4 different ways you can go, and trying all 3 ways. You know what I mean? Just to see what the differences were, and all of that sort of stuff.
Right. The only thing I could think of is, when they switched it back was I could hear Reese. It's Reese, right?
Reese.
Yeah, Reese.
Yeah, Reese.
In the back of my head, and him saying in the early on podcast, we can't break the game, so we can't make it a way where people can exploit it. But I didn't, like you just said, I didn't see it as that, because the only time that you can fly that far and gain coins is when you're spending special tickets and or money in the game.
In the moon. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was a bad idea on their part. Should they have toned it down a little bit? Sure. Nerfed it like they did? No. I think that was a really bad idea.
Yep.
Agree.
That's all I got to say about that.
No. Cool. I actually was going to ask that second part of Marine Mike's question separately, but
sorry.
No, that's right. That's fine. That's fine. All good. I wasn't trying to hide the fact that what he was asking in the second part, but no, I'm glad you did. What about you, Moxie? What do you think of this bus mastery and the nerfing of the Moonlander?
Overall, I think masteries are good. From my standpoint as an adventure player, I think the nerf was terrible, because it just made world records that were made now impossible. But overall, I think they're really bringing new joy and excitement to the game.
Yeah. No, it has. It has indeed. Yeah. And do you think that Fingersoft is just trying to get some more money before they launch number 3?
Maybe for the people that need the coins and stuff to get the masteries, but I don't know. I mean, you can't really tell until it either gets released or I don't really know.
Yeah. It's interesting because, I mean, I always go back to when people say that about number 2 and number 3. I just go back and go, well, they're still updating number 1.
Yeah.
And number 2's been out for 6.5 years, and they're still doing updates to number 1. They're still introducing new cars to number 1. So it's not like they went, oh, here's number 2, let's just turn off number 1. They're still putting money into developing number 1. So I find that I think that they're going to be doing the same thing with number 2 once number 3 actually does come out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, what about you, RT? What are your thoughts on the masteries and the nerfing of the Moonlander?
Yeah, I mean, on the masteries, I mean, it's kind of mixed. So I think the concept and the idea of them is great. Like, I think it really does change the game and revamps the game in like a pretty major way. I like how they're rolling it out slowly and it's not just all at once. I think that's also good and good for the game. You know, the one real big knock I think I have against it is just the amount of time suck involved in getting the masteries. And I know that, I don't know if it was like Mox or Dad that said it, like it rewards the people that actually play. But at the same time, they've almost killed alt accounts, right? Like I have 3 accounts. I mean, my main account, I'm up to date other than bus. I'm, whatever, 60 or 70,000 the way through the first one on bus. But my second and my third account, they have none. I mean, I don't have the time. Like, I'm an adult with a full-time job and a family to try and do, 12 hours for one vehicle on 3 accounts. Like, it's just not going to happen. So like basically my 2 and 3 account, they're dead. I mean, they're still playing and still able to, compete at this point. But when more and more masteries happen and more people get them, like those accounts are gone.
They'll be obsolete.
Fingersoft has completely lost me time-wise for any of those 2 accounts in the future, because once everyone has half the masteries and I still have 0, I'm not going to go back and start grinding. So I think just the amount of XP required, and just not even the amount of XP, the way that you earn the XP and how it's being calculated. I mean, right now for the bus, it's the ideal way is, you go on Desert Valley and you wheelie. And I think you're getting like 1,000 XP a minute or something like that on average, or 1,100. Can into space, put out a video. I think that's what he calculated at. I mean,
no, I'm not. I'm getting nowhere near that.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, that's if you're able to hit Desert Valley with a perfect wheelie with bus, you're getting like 1,000 XP a minute. And again, that's just so much time. I mean, it's like 9-12 hours for bus. Again, 3 accounts, not gonna happen. It was the same thing with Racing Truck. I mean, the only one that was, I think, reasonable was Moonlander, which I think it turned out to be about like 3 to 4 hours or 3.5 hours, if I remember, is about what it took me to get full mastery. So again, like long story short, I think mastery in and of itself is great. Like it really changes the game and it makes it a lot more interesting. But the time suck, and just, like if you're doing that extra XP thing, 100 gems for 4,000, like that's just ridiculous. Like it needs to be much more than that. Or I don't know, introduce an option where you can buy a level for like $10 or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like they need to figure that out and it would be a lot better. But overall, great. The way that's currently set up, not as hot because of the time suck. For the Moonlander, I don't like the nerf, to be honest with you. Like, I hate it when they nerf a vehicle. I mean, you made a change, and people are using it and getting used to it. Just let it go. And like you guys had said, it was really only meaningful on the moon. But you know what? Like, don't allow bus on, I don't know, moon events. Like, if you're going to have a team event with a moon long jump, like, bus isn't one of the vehicles. Like, problem solved. And then you can just use it in adventure. Because I mean, again, we started on, like, I'm a horrible adventure player. I don't really play adventure. I mean, some people are able to get like 10,000 meters plus with Moonlander, like on regular tracks. I can't. It does me no good whatsoever. So yeah, I mean, like, there was just, I don't know, I feel like they were just kind of jumping the gun, and to Deb's point, right? Like, oh, so if you have mastery on, it adds 50 meters versus like not having it. Like, it's a massive nerf that was, I think overdone, I guess. So that's my thoughts. And then for the last part, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think maybe it was overdone to start with. It was given too much eco thrust. And then the balance of that, the pendulum effect of that, was to nerf it so much that it was almost not even mastered anymore. So, it kind of went both ways. That the pendulum swings one way and then it goes too far one way and then they go too far the other way. And really,
And I
we
don't think
need
they've ever done middle ground either afterward.
Yeah, we need somewhere in between, you know?
But I haven't seen them do that with previous vehicles that they've nerfed. They've never gone back and like course corrected and gone, maybe halfway. I feel like they just kind of, they go one way, like you said, and then they change it and go the complete opposite way, but way too far. And then it's like, okay, well, whatever, we'll just leave it there.
Yeah, we'll just leave it there. Yeah. Yeah, very interesting.
Do you think that maybe with the masteries and people having alt accounts, do you think that maybe they're trying to get people to not have alt accounts anymore? So everyone just has the one account that they focus on?
Ooh.
I mean, I think for them, that would be a bad idea because I was still spending money on my alts and spending time and watching ads and like playing them. I mean, not like as actively as my main account, but I was still playing them. Now, I mean, my junior account and my third account, all I do is run tickets. That's it. And then I go into the community event for one ticket to get the XP for whatever vehicle. Like I don't use the account for anything else other than that now.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, look, I said this about my alt. My alt's quite powerful in terms of GP, but I only ever did the Moonlander Mastery because of the ability it had with the Eco Thrust, and I thought maybe that's going to be needed in a team event. And my old account was always based around it being a strong team event account, you see. So I thought, yep, I'll do the mastery for the Moonlander, and that's the only mastery I've done. And now it's like, well, you've done the mastery, but guess what? It's not there anymore.
I did the exact same thing. I said in the podcast, I think, when I joined in with Cap A there for 5 minutes.
Yep.
I was like, you know what? KD no handouts. They need it. They need some good scores. They're in CC. I need this eco thrust, man. Like RT said, it was a good 3-4 hours sitting there wheeling with the Moonlander to get this eco thrust. And hey, I got it. I made it for that event, but now it's useless. Like it does nothing now. And so that's frustrating, and it goes back to what we were just talking about. But yeah.
Anyway, JR, your question.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Here is one from I think there's two from Rexu. Shout out to Rexu. Thank you for your questions. His first question is if you could give tips on gaining garage power quickly without VIP. I would like to ask everyone first that first question. Dev, what do you think? Any tips?
I have a lot of mixed feelings about this one, and I'm sure to each their own. But how to gain GP quickly without VIP? Cups are always going to be where it's at. Okay, so you run cups, you get your chests and your gems and your rewards and your skins and your vehicles and everything throughout Trophy Road. That's really the best way to gain it if you don't have VIP. But then you'll have your people that say, well, I don't like to run cups. How else? You can't have your cake and eat it too. The saying. It's like, so if you're not going to have VIP, you got to find another way to really produce some chests, right? Because that's what you need.
Yeah.
It's not so much you're looking for coins. You're looking for parts and stuff to upgrade and stuff like that. You're looking for scrap. So you need chests. And now, with the latest update, if you've noticed that you don't even have to get first place to get a chest.
Yep.
So you get these chests, and they keep auto-populating. And it is just dropping free parts right in your lap. So 100% the answer, if you're not going to pay the $10 or whatever it is for the fee for VIP, which is well worth it, by the way, if you have $10 a month to spare, or whatever it may be in your country, do it. If you're passionate about the game, because it helps a lot. But other than that, running cups. Adventure is going to get you close to nothing, because I can tell you that a level 5 chest on Adventure looks about the same as a level 20. So, I mean, it's cups is where it's at if you want to grind without VIP.
And the other thing with that's been introduced of recently is the daily tasks. The daily tasks are a really good way of getting some quick chests.
Yeah, and PE too. PE is huge. Yeah.
Yep. And the fun thing about the daily tasks is I try and get 4 or 5 of them done with one event. So it might be wheelie 200 meters, and then it says wheelie 200 meters with the Moonlander, and it says wheelie 200 meters in forest. So I go, right, grab the Moonlander, I do wheelie in forest, and I get 3 tasks done with just one. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's a good use of quick, time management. I mean, let's face it, we're all time poor. So if we can get as much cups as we can, or as much chess as we can from as little time playing, then so be it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So what about you, Mox? Your tips on gaining garage power quickly?
I agree 1,000% with what Dev just said. Yeah, I mean, that's really the only quick way
Yeah.
to do it.
And RT, what do you think? What are your tips?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm gonna echo the other guys. Like, it is 1,000,000% over that. It's opening chests. Like, that's the only real way to do it, because you need the parts. You get coin as well, but then especially if you're playing for team events and where you're only upgrading parts when they're needed for events, you're able to conserve some more of that coin, and you're not like maxing your, I don't know, muscle car if you're never using it, or if you're not using it in an event. Like, there's no point. It's just as many cups as you can run to get as many chests as you can get, to open as many chests as you can, and get those parts. And like you mentioned, the daily tasks as well. Like, that's another great way to get chests. The public event, however, and the free chests that the blue ones. You get to open, I think, 4 every so many hours by like
Every
watching
8
videos.
hours.
Like,
Every 8 hours.
watch the videos. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
a no-brainer. That's by far the easiest way to do it.
And then I must say, over and above all of that, the other way to gain GP quickly is to join a team that is active in team events, that is consistently getting at least 2,000, 2,400 cup points or team event points, and or getting as close as you can to 3K. So that way you're getting maximum rewards for each team event. And there's there's a team event every 2 days. There's a whole heap of chests in that. So just being, and when I say an active team, I'm not saying that you don't have to be in CC or anything like that. You can be in Division 4 or Division 3 and have an active team, and getting rewards every 2 days from playing in a team event.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. We actually have our E7 team. They bounce around between shells every season, go to like E7, E8 to stay in a lower division, just because they mop the floor with the competition, and they're all lower GP players, and it gives them the opportunity to get max rewards every event. And another great tactic too, I guess, if you are able to do it, and we do this occasionally with some players with their like alt accounts, is like someone like me or Dev that's really high GP, like I don't need my rewards on E1 at the end of the season. So like the 1 point whatever million coins we get and however many gems we get, someone's like lower alt can come on the team, grab the rewards as soon as it's over, leave, I jump back in, I'm ready to start the season. So that's another option for some people if they have those types of relationships. But that's a good way to do it too.
Yeah, we have no problem.
Don't forget the half price chests weekend, first of the month every month.
Yeah,
first weekend of the month. That's that'd be good for opening chests quicker, so you can get more rewards.
Yeah, some of us, we have so many coins, like we don't really know what we're ever going to do with them. So yeah, like RT just said. If a lower player is like, hey, I really need the coins, and they're a good player, and you're like, oh, this guy's going places, you'll you'll see it all the time. Like Ollie jumped off the team today. You know, RT or I will jump off the team, or Dudemon, or whatever, just to let somebody in and get their rewards, and we don't need them. So it's
Yep.
yeah,
yeah.
build
I agree with
relationships
that.
in the game.
Yes, yes. I agree with that. Okay, and the second question is, what is your favorite type of cheese? Moxie?
I would say cheddar cheese. The more it's
Ooh.
aged, the better it is.
Oh, I love it.
Or
Love
like
it.
Ooh,
Mhm.
extra sharp.
Extra sharp.
or
Yes.
like seriously sharp. And then like if
Mm.
it's smoked, oh boy.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, and then Dev, what's your favorite type of cheese?
Oh man, I love all cheese. Put cheese on everything. If I had to pick a favorite, man, I'm probably gonna go with the one that I put on most everything. I love pepper jack, but I think its successor is probably gonna be smoked provolone.
oh. Mm.
Love me some smoked provolone.
Mm.
Mox is
Very
moaning.
good. What about you, RT? What is your favorite type of cheese?
It's a tough one, I think. So I'm Eastern European originally. I grew up in the U.S., but still did a lot of the Eastern European thing. So the way that you'd have a lot of meals is it'd be like I don't know how you pronounce it, charcuterie type board where you have meats and cheeses and vegetables
Yeah.
all cut up
Oh,
fresh.
yes.
Yeah.
And I always loved feta cheese. We'd have a lot of
Ah.
feta cheese, and it was
Oh.
like that saltiness of it going with the the smoked sausage and tomatoes and onions and peppers like that. That just brings back memories for me growing up. So I'm gonna go feta cheese.
So all the Australians listening, a charcuterie board is also known here as a antipasto plate.
Ooh.
It's also called a charcuterie board.
Oh, there you go. My French is terrible. Man,
Hey, I'm English second language over here, so
yeah.
I love feta too, by the way. I absolutely love it.
Feta on toast with some avocado underneath it and a little bit of pepper on top is just fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I buy my feta in crumbled form, so I don't have to crumble it between my fingers. I just sprinkle it over the top. It's awesome.
There you go.
Now I'm hungry. Okay. Pete, you should ask a question because I'm getting hungry.
Alrighty. If we're just going down the list, it just happens to be another one of my questions. This one's for Devastator. What makes you a Devastator? Is it your amazing skill on HCR2 or something a little bit different?
This wasn't one of your questions. No, you know what? No.
I wrote it.
Yep, you know what? It was. And then I accused JR of putting you up to it. Yeah,
It wasn't me.
I remember. All right. No, there's no like silly pun behind it or anything like that. Backstory to my name. It came when I was younger, honestly, when I really got into hard rock, metal music, stuff like that. So there was a band called For Today, and they were different. They were more of a hardcore band, but they took it to a different level. Long story short, they had a song called Devastator, and they made a music video for it. And this was when we had to watch music videos on the TV. They weren't on our phones and stuff. But anyways. I loved it. It was great. The song got me pumped up all the time. I used to listen to it when I worked out. I listened to the song like nonstop, and just the name, I guess, Devastator. It was just powerful. It was just, I don't know. It was just something that stuck with me. So, my son, who is 8 and kicks my ass in Call of Duty like nonstop, Like, I can't even compete. It's ridiculous. So that's his name now when he plays. And I don't know. I just decided on that name, and it was from that song. And I've just stuck with it ever since. So if you ever see me on any kind of social media platform, which I don't really partake in, you see Devastator there, it might be me. So
if you're playing Call of Duty with your son, and he is now Devastator, does that mean you're devastated?
I
You
am.
go there.
Oh, I am. If we play on local, I'm trying to play him. He's like, Dad, will you please play with me? I'm like, yeah, okay, one match. 3 minutes in, he kills me 10 times, and I'm like, all right, I'm just done. All set. That's where it came from. It came from a title of one of my favorite metal songs when I was younger. So yeah.
This is a question from Devastator. Big shout out to Devastator. He's a really good fan of the podcast. I love his work. He's asking
thank
Moxie.
you very much.
He's asking Moxie very, very specifically, what is the biggest reason you've stayed with this team from the very beginning?
So I have two reasons, and they are the people. They're funny, supportive, excellent. And then the competition. I'm very competitive. So I love it. It's just great.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. I think competition is what's kept a lot of us in the game. What's been your most fun competitive match?
Oh boy. This was probably 2 years ago. It was against North.
Yep.
And right at the last minute, Leo Liu took the top score, and we won by like 3 points.
Oh wow.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was.
We've
It
had,
was.
I reckon, and they're the matches you remember. You know,
Yeah.
it's seesawed backwards and forwards for however many hours over the last bit, and then all of a sudden you win right at the last minute. That's the stuff you never forget.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. JR, your question?
Okay, the next question is from Cap A. Thank you for all your questions, like usual, Cap A. He has several questions, but I would like to ask this one. I think this hasn't been asked for a while. If you could change one thing in the game, what would it be? Mox, I'd like to ask you first.
I would say this might be a little weird, but if your adventure stars were based off of how far you exactly went. So if you went 30,000 meters, you get 30,000 stars. Because then that would really show who's the best of the best. Who's gone the furthest with everything.
Yeah. I like that idea.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a good one. That's a good one. What about you, RT? What would you like to change in the game?
This is probably gonna piss off some of the younger players, but because they have the quick thumbs, less kangaroo related stuff. Honestly, I remember the game when it was about going fast and hitting spots on tracks, and not everything revolved around jump shocks, thrusters, and landing boost. And it's a little selfish because I'm not the greatest kangaroo player out there, but like I said, I remember a time where like the events were go fast, tenths of a second like mattered a lot in score, and now I mean they still sort of do, but it's like every 3/4 of events have something to do with jump shocks. And again, as someone that doesn't have the quick thumbs anymore at my age, like I would take that away.
I'm with you on that 100%. I was just a little story. I was live streaming in the Empire server yesterday, and then Rat asked me, "You don't use the jump shocks?" And I said, "I never have, and I never will."
I try. That's about the best I can do.
That's the
But
best
for
we
me, they have
can
to dumb
do.
it down. Yeah, they have to dumb it down. So like the last event that we had where we were
Yeah.
using formula on track one, like there
Yeah.
were the guys with the best times. They did that jump right away at the start. Then jump
Yeah.
again, then the third jump. For me now, like I just drive
Exactly.
straight, do the one jump, and that's it. And I get 9.5 seconds, and it is what it is. Like I'll live.
Artie, we
Yep.
could be best friends. That's what I exactly. Oh man. Okay. Dev,
Have you
what would
guys
you
played
like
the
to
public
change?
event? Have you guys
Sorry?
played
Yeah.
the
So
public event without jump shocks?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
It's
I've been
a
enjoying.
multi-jump without jump shocks.
I've been enjoying. I've been enjoying that because
it's
I did
amazing.
a lot of.
Yeah.
I did a lot of time with the the whatchamacallit, the rock bouncer. So
Mhm.
I spent a month and a half playing rock bouncer when it first came out, and I've just enjoyed using rock bouncer to get itself airborne and fly for miles. It's really really cool.
Mhm.
you got the angles down, the jump angles. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, Dev. Going back to the question, what would you like to change in the game?
So first of all, I'll echo RT on what he said about the jump shocks. They're just not for elderly players, as we we were we were once probably really good at them, but so what he said about his the formula on T1 and just doing the one bounce instead of the three or the multiple to get 7 seconds.
Yep.
I found out that on my alt, if I just strap on start boost with afterburner and coin, I can
Mhm.
just hit the gas pedal, never let up, and reach the end in about 10.5. Seriously, just hold the gas pedal down.
Yes.
Did you get that?
Yes.
Did you get that from Jackrabbit?
Yeah, I was going to
I did
say,
not.
JR missed the last cave roof by
About
the
2 mil.
smallest. No, the smallest margin. It was just like, how did you go under that with not even losing a hat, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there
Yes.
going, and she did it 3 times in a row, twice in a row. I'm just sitting there going, what the hell? How did you do that?
Yeah, so I came to the conclusion that 20, 20, 25, so level 5 downforce was perfect. I could literally just hold the gas pedal down and not even pay attention. And so that's what I did.
I have a question for Dev. Why was that
Uh-huh.
not posted in our tips channel?
I
Why
didn't
you
think
holding
anyone. I didn't think anyone wanted to be a loser like me because I was 3 seconds slower than everybody else.
No, no, no.
I
This
was
You know
this,
what?
this is
on board.
the yeah.
I
As
tried it.
much as yeah.
I tried it. I tried it with the jump shocks. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I the first 4 runs, all 4 tickets, I died on the first track, and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. So,
Mm-hmm.
got to find
So
something different.
so
Sorry, I have to answer your question, right?
yeah.
Okay. What was the question?
I can change one thing
You
in the
changed
game.
one thing.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I got on a tangent about RT's comments. Yes, and they're all very true. Anyways, if I could change one thing, by far it would be aspect ratio. So
Make it
Ooh.
fixed.
let's take for example, and I honestly I don't know if it's even possible, because different devices have different aspect ratios and stuff like that. But if somehow the game could equalize it so there's equal playing field,
Yep.
like on long jumps, for example, we had the Moonlander, or the recent event where we had the long jumps. So as soon as I even start to thrust up, even level 1 thrusters, I'm off the screen. I have to hit pause. I have to restart just to gain sight for another half of a second, and then hit it again, and then pause. And then obviously every time I do that, especially in PE, you're losing time.
Yep.
You don't, you're against the clock. So in that long jump, you need every second. You need to be flying every single second. But I can't because I can't see my moon lander. It's literally not on the screen. So it makes it extremely unfair, in a way. So you have to have a device that has, what is it, a 4-3, like your iPads
That's
and
the
stuff like
ideal
that.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have almost 1-to-1 with my Galaxy Fold.
I've heard that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, and not to mention the Fold's got a decent processor and some decent RAM. So, yeah.
But yeah, aspect ratio. I mean, that's my answer. I mean, if they could, come up with something that equalized it for all players, or hey, how about this? Even zoom out a bit, it would be okay. I don't think anybody would, be against that. Zoom the game out.
Surely they would know that you are reaching the proximity of your aspect ratio on the phone that you're playing on.
You would think so.
You would think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
you would think so.
That's a great answer, Dev.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, and he has two more. Sorry, he has another question specifically for Dev and RT. Do you have any tips for leading a top CC team, RT?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that I could say is that you really rely on your team and the other leaders. I think at Empire, we've got a phenomenal leadership group. We've got a lot of our core leaders that have been senior leaders since before we started, but we're senior leaders before that at both Out of Order, Chaos, TNO, Global Legion, all of that, and everybody pitches in and does an amazing job. From I mentioned Mos and someone that I would do on that car trip with, but Rex, Dudemon, Flip, an unheralded person. Happy does so much for us in our server. She runs our YouTube team. Ollie, SMX. We've got guys that like focus on the lower teams, like E5 through 7, Bree and Average Joe. Like everyone is just really, really vital, and having it spread out like that, I think is just huge because it alleviates the burden off any 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 individuals. Like if I'm really busy and can't be involved because of work or family stuff, or Dev can't. We have so many people in there that like are ready to pitch in and like happy to help. We've got a lot of young guys too that are great, in leadership, that have recently joined leadership and potentially, going to move up to the top here soon with like a Pickles, Jaxie, Missio, Isaac. Like we just have the core people. So it's having people that you can delegate responsibilities to, that you can trust, and that, are all about like the team, right? I think that is huge. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like if you have that type of camaraderie and leadership group, like that, I think that's why we're successful. So any teams looking to really grow, like that's what I would suggest. Like, find that group of guys that are really like die hard for your team, that are ride or dies, and give them responsibility and let them run, because you'll be surprised on like how much value they actually add, and help you grow.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. And what about you, Dev?
That's a hard one to follow up. Honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
RT said it perfect. I mean, I don't. I'll try to add some to it here, but it's very true. Empire's not just. I guess we are what our name says. We're an empire. We're not just 5, 6, 7 guys behind the scenes. It may have started that way, but now it's so much more. We have guys like RT said that run our lower teams, and we have guys that help out with recruiting, and we have guys that do server management, and we have like Flip and others who manage the actual server, and we have our senior leader group that there's 10 or 13 of us or so that make all the the last calls, or the I guess final arrangements, if you will. If there's anything big going on, it needs to come through us before the end. But building a big group of just solid players, players that really care about it. If they don't, that's fine. I mean, because again, it is a 2D racing game, but to many of us, it is much more. And I think what it boils down to is the community. And I think that's what keeps us here. As far as responding to Cape's actual question, I put a note down here just because I knew this was going to come up. One big thing, don't allow toxic behavior. I don't care how good the player is or, what score they might put up. Do not allow them into your team. Toxic behavior is like, it's poison. It's going to spread throughout. Everybody's going to start to be negative or whiny.
Yeah.
You want to keep a fun, light environment. And, if players are playing well, acknowledge their good performance, right?
Yes.
So, like, hey, man, you did awesome. And on the other hand, too, if you find that, and I'm not talking about scores, but, like server-wise, if, people are getting out of line and stuff like that, if you're a leader, you need to step up and, put them in their place and, give them the ultimatum. Hey, it's this or that, one of the two. So you just want to create a good environment for your team. And becoming as big as we are takes time. I mean, obviously, there's a couple other teams out there similar in size. Well, kind of. Well, not really, but I mean, as far as volume wise, I think we're probably the biggest. But yeah, it takes a lot. RT said it the best for sure.
Let me just add one thing to what Dev said too, just to agree and piggyback. Like the toxic player part of it, like it's going to be hard, right? If you have a player that is like your best scoring player, but they're toxic to the team and the server, it's hard. It's hard to make the call like, hey, you just can't be here anymore because you're giving up your best player. But at the end of the day, like what I've seen over the last, I don't know, 5, 6, however many years teams have been going on, like it actually does matter. You're much better off losing that better player in order to improve the overall team dynamic, because it may not seem like it, but it really is debilitating to a team when you have, a volatile personality, that really hurts the team from that standpoint, but is able to score well. So like, yeah, I mean, that's like spot on, Dad. Like I 1,000,000% agree with that. It's huge.
Thanks. Yeah, I agree.
If you have to say he's a fantastic player, but, or something along the lines of we put up with him because he's got a good score, then they really need to go.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on like the magnitude of how negative it is and what the negative piece of it is, right? Like there's one thing of just being like, kind of like a jerk and just saying like, like, come on, you guys do better because, I'm doing so well. Or like, I put up this score, why can't you? Versus someone that, does something else. It's like, maybe making fun of, people in the server on the team or, so it's, there's no like, it's not black and white. It's really gray depending on the situation and situation specific. But yeah, just in general, like, you got to be careful because, people will hurt a team with their comments and their attitude. And this, translates beyond the team, but like in the corporate world too, and like business and in your jobs and your day to day, like, negative personalities are going to impact your company. And that's just inevitable. And they're going to impact your team as well. So it's just, again, it's gray, but yeah, I mean, it matters.
Good words. Very sound words.
Yes.
Agreed.
On you, Pete.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
All right. Moving into the Empire questions now. This one's from Hulkster E1. For all three guests, most embarrassing moment, either game related or real life related. And we'll start with Moxie.
I know one time I accidentally bought one of the 2000 gem legendary chests.
Done that too.
Click too fast.
Spamming the buttons and
Fast
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah. I've done that. That was fun. Not.
I can't really think of anything
Awesome.
special right now. But
That's all good. RT.
yeah.
I guess here's a real life one that it goes back quite a ways. When I was in high school, I played a lot of sports. One of my sports was soccer, and we were in the state championship semifinals. It was penalty kicks. I was the fifth shooter for my team, and I had been talking smack all game. I was overconfident in talking smack during my penalty kick, and I probably made the worst penalty kick like I've ever seen. Worse than Roberto Baggio shooting it over the goalpost. And we lost the game in the semifinals because of my arrogance and overconfidence. And I was devastated by it and just completely humbled. And it was actually a great like real life grow up moment. But yeah, off the top of my head, like that's the first thing that came to mind is like the most embarrassing thing that I've done was just that arrogance that like blew a chance for us to go to the finals.
Yeah. Yeah, because you were talking smack, that made it so much worse.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know. I walked up to the kick, like winking at the goalkeeper, like waving to my girlfriend on the sidelines. I mean, it was, it could not be worse of a setup. And then just to like have the worst kick where like the keeper didn't even dive. He didn't even dive to save it. He like walked 2 feet and caught the ball. Like it was just, I don't know. True arrogance.
That's good.
They've probably made a movie about that.
they might have.
It's called Karma at its best.
Yep.
Oh, geez.
Very good. And Devastator?
Funny story. So a half hour before we started this, the only question that I was hung up on that I knew was going to be asked, because Hulkster asked it, was this question. And I'll take a picture of my notepad after we're done here and send it to you. But it says most embarrassing moment, : question mark. And that's still what it remains as. And so I asked my wife, I said, what do you think? And she's like, well, there was that one time that you came home so pissed drunk after you were hanging out with your buddies at that party that you opened up your sock drawer and peed in it. I'm like, I did not. And she's like, yes, you did. I'm like, bullshit. And she's like, nope, you did. I'm like, well, I guess that'd probably be at the top of the list. So she
that's
says,
good.
And the funny thing, you don't remember it. It's your wife who remembers
I don't remember how I got home. But apparently, I had to go in the middle of the night, and I went to my dresser drawer and opened the toilet lid, and
So now you found out. That's how you found out where you got the yellow socks from. You didn't know you bought them at Amazon, right?
Exactly.
They're
discounted because they're yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to say this properly. King Ma, Big Russ, has asked the question. Big shout out to him. Has asked the question: have you broken a device while racing because of your superhuman thumb strength? We'll start with Dev.
No, but just like back in the day when you're playing on your, the original Nintendo, if you turn the controller to the right, it magically makes you go quicker to the right, right?
We talked about this last episode.
Yeah. Up, down. If you hit those jump shocks harder to the point where you drop your phone, it might go higher. Have I broke one? No. But I've tried.
What about you, Moxie?
Surprisingly, no. But you can kind of see where my thumbs rest on the screen.
What about you, RT? Have you ever broken a phone?
My junior account is on a really old tablet, and like everyone else is saying, like I pressed way too hard, and it made it to the point where like half my tickets don't actually work because my gas pedal doesn't work. But beyond that, yes, I threw the phone that RT Junior used to be on before it moved to a tablet across the room and shattered the phone. So I have broken a phone. I'll see if I can find a picture of the phone. It still worked. So there's like cracks, like the spider web glass cracks all across the back.
Oh, they're terrible.
But the screen was fine. It was just the back of the phone that cracked. So,
but what made you throw the phone across the room? That's the question.
it was just, it was a couple years ago. So it was probably 2 years ago. Some event, like I blew a ticket track 4 type of thing for like the umpteenth time, and just got so pissed off that I don't think I actually threw it across the room. I think I threw it at the floor, and it just it broke. I was just done.
The most frustrating
put a phone cover over
it. The most frustrating thing is when it's not your fault. Like, let's say you go into your last, you got the best run going ever, and you're on track 4, and you've got an awesome run going. You're like, here we go. I'm adding 10K to my score, baby. And then suspension glitch. Boom. Your supercar stops dead in its tracks, or your super diesel. And it's like you hit a boulder, but there's nothing there. Yes,
that's annoying. Yeah.
Luckily, I have a good phone case because yes, I've tossed mine numerous times. But
I go no case on my devices, so yeah, I'm more dangerous.
Yep.
Living on the edge.
That is the first thing I do when I get a phone. Get a cover for it because I know what I'm like.
A question from Pickles. A shout out to him. And he has a question for RT. What does RT stand for? And
which we've answered.
He's kind of answered that. Yeah. So we'll move on to the next question from Silk42. He said, anyone that knows Silk42 knows that he's an absolute genius. Yet a few years ago, he suggested on the FS server that a sport utility vehicle, better known as an SUV, be added. Fingersoft has had years to develop such an amazing vehicle, but have yet to do so. Why do you think this is? RT, what do you think? Why do you think it hasn't been made yet?
It's a valid question. I think that honestly, I really don't believe that they actually care that much and read the comments that much and take heed to the comments that much, because I think you've seen a lot of, not specifically related to the SUV, but a lot of different topics where a lot of people have raised the same issue over and over that have gotten tons and tons of likes and comments and whatever that they've just never done anything about. I think that they just don't care. I think they have their own plan and idea of how they want to run things, and that car is just not coming to the mix at this point. Like, it may come soon, but it's also not like different enough, right? I mean, look at like the most recent cars that they've released, right? Rock Bouncer, like, really just kind of different vehicle from all the other ones. The hover bike, I mean, that's way different. Before that, we had Beast, which again,
true.
Random. So I think that they're more focused on introducing random type vehicles than something more normal and mainstream, right? Like they just, if they didn't have a rally car already, I don't think that they would release a rally car. It just wouldn't be in the mix because they would be looking for something more unique. So I think that's really what it is, that they're not paying attention and that it's too straightforward and regular for them.
Yeah, I agree. Moxie, what do you think?
I agree with that as well. I think they might think it's too much like the rally car or something else. They'd probably come out with something like a boat or some random thing rather than something that is actually real life.
Yeah. I think variety is also
So,
good.
I don't know.
That's why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they like the wild and wacky.
Yeah, true. To make it more fun, I think. So, Dev, what about
Yeah.
you?
I'll agree with RT on this too. Also, but I think the main thing is it comes down to copyright and infringement laws. So remember when it was called the Jeep and the Super Jeep?
Yep.
And what happened there and why they had to change the name?
Well, Chrysler would have probably put their hand up and said, "We want some money."
Yeah, so it happened. So they had to rename them. And so this is exactly what happened. And so they were called a Jeep and a Super Jeep, and those are trademark names. So obviously our cars, like the supercar, resembles a Ferrari, right, or a Lamborghini, or whatever classification you want to put it into. The rally car is obviously more of a Mitsubishi. What am I looking for? Evo.
Or
Yeah,
I was
or
going to say a Subaru.
Yep, Subaru Impreza WRX.
Yep.
So yeah, they were mocking them after real life vehicles, and I think they kind of got into a spot where they wanted to get away from it, and I understand that, and so they came out with more generic vehicles. You have your rock bouncer, which is a sand dune vehicle, right?
Yep.
We've all seen them. I mean, they're great. They're fun. I mean, at least here in Michigan, it's huge.
Yep.
People race them all over the place. Hover bike. I mean, that stuff's coming into. My son rides his hoverboard all over the place. I mean, so yeah. I mean, I think they're just trying to tap into more of something that isn't going to get them into any kind of copyright infringements or anything like that. Come out with unique vehicles. As far as a SUV coming out, I mean, sure. I mean, it's probably in the mix. I mean, they're coming out with a new one like every
6
4 to
months?
6 months? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure it's in the mix. I'm sure we'll see some form of it. We kind of already do, but as far as like a regular boring SUV, I'm sure we'll see it. But I think they're trying to more excitement into the game. Like, what is an SUV really going to bring? You know what I mean? Like,
it's just a bigger rally car.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Isn't the SUV just the super diesel with a canopy?
True.
I mean, look, I would say it's a larger rally car, if you will.
Yeah,
that can fit.
Yeah.
You can fit.
It'd have better suspension.
Yeah.
They need to make an SUV with passengers, just like the bus.
There you go.
Yeah, so you can break
To
off
make it an
the roof
SUV. But that doesn't break.
No.
Okay. Whose question is it? Pete?
Yeah, it's mine. I've got one here from Dudemon. This question is for Mox. When driving a tractor on the farm, have you ever imagined it to be like the one in Hill Climb Racing 2 with afterburners, turbo, and purple flame paint, or your favorite skin?
No, not really.
purple flame paint.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I wonder
now you
if
got me
anyone
picturing
out
it
there
having all that stuff on it, having a big long.
I wonder if anyone out there
turbo
has
right
done
at
that.
the back.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
I know where I am, they have this thing called a tractor pull, where all the hillbillies around here do up their tractors with 2 V8 engines and see how far they can pull this heavy weight that keeps getting dug into the ground further and further.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that's
a big thing. It's not only there. Yeah, it's here in the U.S. too. We have tractor pulls at all the fairs.
Yeah, so they're pretty cool, especially at night time because you see all the flames coming out, and when they explode some of their engines. That's pretty cool to watch. But yeah, no, I haven't seen any Any with wings and flames or anything like that?
And just put a dangly little bucket out on the front.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to get caught on a bridge.
Uh-huh.
And then I kill myself.
Oh, jeez. We have a
I
question.
think you're up, Eva.
Yeah. We have a question here from one of my favourite players, Tessa Cat. So big shout out to Tessa. This is for all three of you, so I'll ask you individually. How long have you been a member of Empire? Dev, you first.
I think I can honestly answer for all three of us at one time. But I'll let them chime in. All three of us have been a member of Empire for its entirety since the beginning. We were all here well before the last mergers. So yeah, I mean, since the beginning, that's the answer.
Cool. And you, Mox?
Yeah, basically from the beginning.
Yeah.
Even before Empire was Empire, all the way back to when it was. I started when it was Team YT just by itself. So that was almost 3 years ago.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I mean, same for me. I mean, Dev and I go back to Chaos, and Mox was like old school TNO. So, we're all well before. I mean, we're before the Chaos TNO merger.
Yep. Oh, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, JR, you're up.
There's another question from Dude Mon. To all three guests, what's your favorite top 3 things about Empire? RT, you can go first.
It's a tough question. I mean, like, I love the fact that we're really just like a cohesive unit. Kind of like going back to some of the stuff I was saying earlier about, starting a team. Like, I love that we're all about Empire, kind of like all for one for all type of thing. And we have a lot of players, like the majority of our teams are all ride or die Empire guys and girls. And it's great. Like, you love to see that loyalty and that devotion to your team. Like we were just saying for the last question, like all three of us here, we're old school. And, I think there's no question that like Dev's not going anywhere from Empire. Like, he would never move to a different team. Mox wouldn't, I wouldn't. We're really cohesive. So that's probably the biggest thing. 2, was it the 3 things that I love the most?
Yes, top 3.
Yeah, I mean, so that's 1. 2, that I think this is really different. Like, having been, a member of a various different like top teams, within the game. And I won't name them to disparage or anything like that, and it's not meant that way. But like, I think that we're one of those teams that genuinely like really cares about its players a lot. Like, we go above and beyond within our server, for example, beyond the game, to where we're helping people with like life stuff. We have a lot of players that are younger, that are, not adults, that are kids under 18, and they're having issues at school or at home. And, they post in the server like, hey, like, I'm getting bullied. Like, what do you guys think I should do? And we have a big group of people that are always like incredibly supportive of them, that are giving advice. We have other people that are like starting jobs for the first time in their lives. And, we give them advice like, hey, here's some advice on, some tips on how to interview. These are the types of questions that you want to ask them. These are like, this is how you should dress for your interview. Like, it's things like that I think really like makes us more of a family than a lot of other teams. And then third, I think going back to something that Deb said, where we're beyond just, hey, like, is this guy a good scorer? Like, we care more about, is this guy a good person? Like, is this someone that adds value, like, to our team, to our server, like, as a person? like as a team member, or are they more toxic? So I think we do a really good job of that. Not the best always, right? Like we make mistakes too. But I think for the most part, like we're really focused on the overall like culture of the team beyond just winning, right? Like if we're, I think we finished second this last season to Supreme, which, whatever, it's unfortunate. It would have been great to be first, but we weren't fifth. At the same time, if we have to give up some of those players to be fifth and not second, but we continue to have that culture, I think that's really important. And I think that we're a team that does that. Like we're not as driven by like, okay, first, second, third, we strive for that, but I think we're more than that, and we focus on more than that. This is like a leadership group. So I'm sorry, I know that was really long-winded, but like I think that would probably be the three things that I would hit on that I think that kind of separates us. And like I said, I've been around the block quite a bit, and I do definitely think that we're different in that regard.
Yeah.
Well,
And I get everything that you said, because everything you said is what makes your team a home for the players who have joined your team. So, it makes them home for them.
Yeah, and that's why
Eva,
we
you were
have a lot of.
saying, yeah.
No, I'm saying that's why we have a lot of players that don't bounce around, or if they do, like
Yeah.
they might go somewhere for a month,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but this is their home. It's like, okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of want to go play with my friends for a little bit, and then they come
Mm-hmm.
back because like their home is Empire. But we also have other players where we're, they're turning over. We have some players on E1 where we're constantly, 5, 6, 7, 8 players every month. Like they bounce around. They'll come to Empire for a month and they'll go somewhere else. But our core, that 40 plus players that are on E1 and E2 even more so, like they don't go anywhere. Like this is it for them. This is where they stay. This is where they want to be. And I think that's amazing. It's a testament to, like I said, all the leadership group, like across all of our teams. It's making everyone feel part of a team, whether it's E1, E2, E3, YouTube, our 5, 6, 7 team, like and Bree and Average Joe, and like what a great job that they do. Like it's just, I don't know. Like I feel like it's like a family and not, somewhere where you're just playing.
and I must say that culture of cultivating the people you have and being there for the people you have, that's what builds an even stronger culture.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, we have guys that have like moved up, like some of our better players right now. I mean, like here's a great example, Jaxie. He started out, I think, on E3, and he got promoted to E2 and continued to like build his account and do better and better. And he's on E1 and now he's like one of our leaders and he's in the leadership group. With, hopefully continuing to develop. He's going to be a senior leader. Pickles is another guy too. Same exact boat. Like I think he only started playing HCR like 2 years ago. Or maybe even like a year and a half ago or something like that. And it's just, they've never been anywhere else, like with their, I guess, main accounts. They've just continued to like move through. Juquisha is another one that is a great player that like just moved up from, I think E2 to E1, this last season. Like we've got these guys that are like homegrown guys that have like grown up with Empire, that love it there. And you're right. Like they're super loyal. They're great players. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah,
Well
very
said.
cool.
Yeah. Moxie, what about you? What is your top 3 favorite things about Empire?
I'm gonna kind of touch off of what RT just said. The community with the way of everyone helping everyone and like they giving advice to the younger people. Being younger myself, I'm kind of on the receiving end of that, so that I find that very helpful and appreciative, and it just makes it a good place to be.
Yes.
Second, I would say it's very, for the most part, very peaceful. There's not much toxicity.
Oh, yeah.
And if it does happen, it's shut down right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then third, the friendly competition. Like I touched on earlier, I'm quite competitive, so I really enjoy that aspect of it.
Yes, I think it makes the game more fun when there's friendly competition within the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not all like kill and destroy the other person.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's friendly and back and forth, and
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And Dev, what are your top 3 things about Empire?
Well, I'm glad RT went first because I don't have to talk now.
Uh,
You know, I have to mirror exactly what he said. I mean, he did an amazing job explaining it. And it's so true. It's so true. Empire has become not just a team, but a community of people that literally help each other, like in just day-to-day stuff. Okay, it's not just HCR2 or anything like that, but we make friends and bonds through like actually being real people and helping people through day-to-day things, and so many good channels. We have, okay, so let's call this number 2. Okay, so many good channels, live streams and stuff like that people join from other teams, or like you, Jackrabbit, and coming in and just enjoying the fun and the experience of learning new things and new tactics, and just so many people. So, and you got to think, so 7 teams, they're pretty much all full, 50 apiece, one bounces around, so many people, multiply that by 10, and what are we at? 3,500 now in the server, something like that. That is a question.
yeah.
Yeah, something
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot.
Want me to find out? 32, 33.
Okay, yeah. So it's just a great place to be, and honestly, we, like RT said, if we can get first, great. That's what we strive for, every month. But we're not going to risk that. If let's say we get 2 top guys in and they're just hotheads and they think they're the bee's knees and running their mouth and causing problems with the server and stuff like that. No, just go get gone. Goodbye. We'll figure it out. So we would much rather take a hit, lose a couple spots, than ruin what we have built. And it's not just since Empire was built. I mean, this was built on many of the teams before that, and so we have to respect everybody. And we have a great core, great leadership, and yeah, what RT said.
I've got one here from Missio, and it's a question for RT, and there must be some sort of backstory behind this one, but I'm going to ask it. Is Missio the greatest HCR2 player ever? Directed at RT.
I think that's just Missio being Missio. So if there is backstory, I personally don't know the backstory, but it makes it kind of odd. Missio, I think I mentioned him before earlier, is like one of our up and coming leader guys. Like he's a guy that I can't remember if he was, with us from the Chaos days or he came from like the TNO side, but I mean, he's definitely been there since the Chaos TNO merge. So he's, like an OG in my book. For, whichever team he started on, went through all the way to the Empire. He's a phenomenal player. Like he had a great month last month. Like he can be at any given time the best player. Missio, I'm sorry. Do I think that you are the best player? No. But I think that you're definitely up there, especially in Empire, and especially like when you hit some events that you can crush it on. Like you are a phenomenal player and a great guy, too. Like super helpful. So thank you for everything that you do for Empire, for the server, for all that stuff, recruiting. You're a great dude. You're a ride or die. You're my boy. So yeah. Best player, no. Great player, yes.
In other words,
well said.
Missio, Ver, and Ali, you guys can all fist fight it out for the top.
And Rex. Let's throw Rex in there too.
In Rex. Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's okay.
Yeah. We gotta have Rex in there. Yeah. Sorry, Rex.
All right. Well, I'm glad I've got this
I'm glad
question.
you got this question. Yeah, because you've been practicing pronunciation, haven't you?
So I'm really thankful that this guy has come onto our podcast YouTube channel and left me a message saying he thought my pronunciation of his name was hilarious and then told me how to pronounce it properly. So a big shout out to Jockey. No, it's not. It's actually Joe Get, is how he said I should pronounce it. Joe Get. He's asked the question, what vehicles do you want to have masteries, excluding the ones that have already been released, and what buff would you like to have to make them better? So we'll start with URT. Let's leave it to just one vehicle. What vehicle? One vehicle do you really want to have mastery, and what would you like it to have as a buff?
Oh wow. I can honestly say that I didn't do my homework like Dev did, so I didn't read the questions ahead of time. So I'm very unprepared, and everything's catching me like first blush.
Well, hang on a second.
Yeah.
You can't say that after that last question where you just basically killed it.
Well, I mean, I'm going just kind of off the cuff here. I think it must be the Jack Daniels, the Jack on the Rocks is helping. No, like I think my favorite vehicle by far, it used to be rally car, but it has become muscle car. I think other than having like kind of a weak roof, which is really frustrating sometimes, like break your head and die. I would love it for muscle car because like I said, I love the vehicle so much. And I guess what I just said really, I guess, answers the second part of the question. I can't pick 4 mastery or whatever 3 mastery levels, but like one for sure would be strengthening the roof of that vehicle. If you could turn it into a muscle car roof, that car would be unstoppable. Like it's a all around great vehicle. Fix that roof or give me some type of mastery to like I get like I don't know extra roof protection, and I'll see you later. It would be better than minibus, I guess. Although I don't have minibus, so I don't know, but I've seen the videos.
Put a roll cage added in. Yeah.
So what you're saying is, don't quote me on this, but because we can't really use this name without someone coming down on us like a ton of bricks. You want the General Lee muscle car, able to fly through the air, land on all 4 wheels, and still drive.
Exactly.
Very cool.
I don't need doors. We'll slide in through the windows. That's okay.
Yeah, just weld the doors shut. Weld the doors shut. Even better.
Scoot across the hood.
Yep, scoot across the hood, over the roof. Yep. Moxie, what about you?
I would say a monster truck, and to have a little more fuel and some sort of a head protection.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, I think more fuel would be very good in that because it flies with wings, afterburner, and coin.
Jump shocks.
And not with jump shocks. But and
that's for the young kids episode.
Yeah, that's for the young kids episode. I would add better balance when it takes off, so it doesn't arch back as much.
Yes, definitely.
More stability. But fuel and head protection would be awesome. Yeah. What about you, Dev? What vehicle are you looking forward to?
Again, I hate to mirror RT, but muscle car is my jam. No, muscle car like all the way. It's other than its ability to fly, it can do virtually everything just as good as everything else. It kangaroos very well. It's top speed, it's fuel boost, it's afterburner, overcharged turbo. Everything is amazing. It's a very versatile vehicle.
Yep.
It definitely is my favorite. So what I would like to see, again, like I said, I mean, I hate to mirror RT, but I have to agree. Its one downfall is its roof strength. So,
Yep.
If it could actually take a hit or two on a run, I mean, that'd be great.
Yep.
Similar to the rally. Other than that, I mean, like Mock said, I do love the monster truck. It is fun. But yeah, the muscle car is my jam, and strengthened roof would be awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. See, with the muscle, not the muscle car, the monster truck. I always think that the rock bouncer was the answer to actually fixing the monster truck. The rock bouncer became the monster truck with the hard roof and the better balance.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
see that. It does. It takes off better. I mean, you pretty much get a wheelie right off the start.
Yep.
And most every track, yeah.
Yeah. Any track
and
that's yeah.
and it flies really well.
Just like
The
the
only
monster truck does.
the only downside is rock bouncer versus your monster truck is when you catch that landing with the monster truck and hit the nitro or a perfect landing and hit some coin, the rock bouncer cannot get that boost.
No, you're right. No.
That the monster truck gets.
Yeah, the monster truck has got this. It's almost like an inbuilt jump shock landing boost mix, but you've got to land perfectly on the back wheel at that right angle.
And when you do, it's game over.
Like yeah. No,
Yeah.
agreed. Oh, very cool. JR, your question?
Here is a question from RT. Thank you for this question, RT. To all, does it make you feel better knowing that even a player like Moss can be a senior leader of a team like Empire? And he said, "Love you, brother." What is this question about?
Well, let me jump in real quick and just kind of get some clarity. So it was more tongue in cheek. Obviously, I love him. He's a great player, but it was more about the fact that like you don't have to be a rock star all star player, like a Rex or an Ollie or someone to be a senior leader in a team like Empire. I think a lot of the top teams, their senior leadership group is for the most part a lot of like the best scoring players, but like we're really different in that regard. Whereas like someone like Amos, who's he's a leader of E2, or other leaders in our group, like you can make decisions for a team like Empire and not be this like all world beater type player. I guess that was kind of like the genesis of the question, and not. I mean, it was just like a fun "I love you most" dig at him, but like, yeah, that was really the question.
Very cool.
And good answer to your own question, by the way.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Pete?
Who are we going to go?
You?
Oh, okay. I've got a question from Isaac. It says, okay, my question is your real name RT? We've already gone through that, so it's a little shout out to Isaac. I'll go on to the next one. This one is from Toka. This is a question for all. What do they like to do for fun outside of Hill Climb Racing 2? And we'll start with Devastator.
Oh, all right. Well, back in the day when I actually had free time before I had 4 kids, I love tattoos. I love to draw. So I'm an artist of sorts, if you will.
Yeah.
I've given numerous tattoos. It's fun. I like creating stuff like that.
Nice.
Obviously, Pete. I like to play drums and I enjoy metal music.
Yes.
As far as my job goes, I'm a technician for Chrysler. I've been working with them for 10 plus years now. So cars are my hobby. I like art. I love to cook. Absolutely love it. So any given
what's your
night,
favorite meal?
Well, it's hard to say. 10 minutes before I got on this podcast, I was finishing up dinner for the entire family that is now sleeping. But I bought a family pack of T-bones and marinated them for 2 days, and made that. Made some shredded cheesy potatoes and a bunch of other stuff, and I like to smoke meats. So
yeah,
wake up in the morning.
I did a smoked brisket yesterday, actually.
Oh yeah, wake up.
Put it in there. Yeah, put it in there in the morning. Let it cook. Bring it out at about 7 o'clock. It was perfect.
Yeah, wake up in the morning, throw it on there. 13 hours later, you got dinner. But
amazing.
So I enjoy cooking, art, cars.
So just hang on. You said something about you've given some tattoos. Have you done tattoos, or have you just made the art for the tattoo?
Mostly just the art.
Okay.
So I've drawn numerous tattoos for, many people. But yes, I have given them also.
Oh, you're a tattoo artist as well?
No, just a side gig.
Okay, all right. No, that's cool. Oh, it's really cool.
Yeah, so I mean, any really good artist can find their way around a tattoo machine. It is different.
It's like using a different paintbrush.
Pretty much. So yeah, you're not using a pencil or a paintbrush or what have you, but I mean, still the outcome is the same. It's different. It takes some getting used to, but yeah, no, I've done plenty of both.
Oh wow,
nice.
That's really cool.
Definitely really cool.
Yeah,
I never knew that you did that sort of stuff. Tattoos and artists. That's cool.
Yeah.
Moxie, how about yourself? What do you do for fun outside of hill climb racing?
Oh, I don't have a lot of spare time because I work a lot, but I like to disc golf.
Oh.
Ooh, one of my favorites.
Recently got into that, and I really, really enjoy it.
It's something I've never tried. I don't know if we have any down here nearby. I know we have a lot of golf courses, but not disc golf.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, I'm looking over at my garage. I'm staring at my disc golf bag that's hanging up on the side of the garage with all my discs in it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Maybe that could be what you do when you meet up with everybody.
Lots of good memories. Disc golf is very fun. So yeah, Mox, have fun with that, dude. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Awesome. RT, how about yourself?
I like to golf, regular golf. It's really I'm not a great player at all. I used to be a really good player when I was in my 20s, and it was because I was just a good athlete. And then going back to I think the comment I made about the soccer thing, like the vanity and all of that, like I took lessons because I didn't look right playing, and it like completely destroyed my game. It made me a horrible golfer because my golf swing became like a normal golf swing, but it didn't work for me, so I became a terrible golfer. So I go out there just more to I go out there more just to like have fun, be outside, like just hang out with friends, have a beer or two, or a cocktail or two while I'm playing, and just relax. And then I've gotten into fencing recently. That's a little different, and it's been fun. So I guess those are my two hobbies. But I mean, I work full time. I have the family. We do camping, Boy Scouts, all that stuff. So, but on my own personal time, I'd say those are probably the two things I try and do the most: golf and fence now.
Nice.
Cool.
Wow.
Do you play Ambrose golf or regular?
Just regular old golf.
Yeah. Whenever I play, I usually play with my brother. and he is a very good chipper and not that good at driving. I'm a good driver, not a good chipper. So we even out. The first probably 7 matches we played against each other was a dead even score. And then the 8th or so, he finally won by 1 point. So yeah.
No, you're
Completely
great,
different players.
like team golfer, yeah.
Yeah, completely different style and very similar outcome.
No, I do. I play at a country club, and we do a lot of tournaments where, they pair you randomly with another person. Anytime if I'm paired with like more of a scratch golfer, like we absolutely rake it in money wise because I will get pars and birdies on some holes, but then I'll get like triple bogeys on other holes. But for me, like a par or a birdie with my handicap is like an albatross or double eagle, or whatever you want to call it, or birdies.
Nice.
So I end up scoring like really well in like team golf because of that when you factor in the handicap. So you guys would be like an amazing team for something like that.
Yeah.
Best ball is awesome. Best ball. Way to go.
That's Ambrose, isn't it?
I love golf too. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Awesome. Have I got through everyone, or did I miss anybody?
No, you've got everyone. You've got everyone.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, this is from. Actually, no, I'm going to handball. This is your question now because I can't pronounce that. It's Xerneas. So Zernus.
Cernius?
Zernius. Yeah. He's asked the question, what is the best beer? And we're going to do this all at once. So on 3, everybody's just going to shout out the name of their best beer. So 1, 2, 3, go.
Smirnoff.
Lightning Kugels,
IPA.
Lakeside Cherry.
Moxie?
That was so good.
Legally, I can't answer that.
Legally.
You can say root beer.
Oh, I like
Ginger.
that too.
If you were
Ginger beer.
21, what would it be, Moxie?
Twisted Tea.
There you go.
There you go. And notice I didn't say a beer because I hate beer. So, perfect question for me. You're up, JR.
Okay, here is a question from Rex. He has 2 questions for everyone. What was your most memorable match on Empire? And the second question, what is your favorite vehicle and why? I'll start off with Mox.
So I kind of already mentioned my most memorable match.
Yeah, the match. Yeah.
But the favorite vehicle, I really like the tank. I have a lot of almost world records with it, a lot of top 5 times. I just find it fun because it's not used a lot. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's nice. For me, it's nice too. And RT, what is your?
I can't wait for the tank to come back into team events.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
So RT, what is your most memorable match on Empire and your favorite vehicle and why?
I can't think of a favorite match. I think that, it was mentioned your last podcast episode with Rexon and Rat. But I mean, my most memorable season was the first season that, we got first place. It was really cool. The video that Verishak did of our team winning first place, I thought was phenomenal. I can't remember who edited it at the time. He posted it to his YouTube channel. Yeah, Notorious edited it. People sent in clips, and it was really cool. Like I remember I was actually on vacation somewhere, and I remember showing my son because he was wondering what I was watching on YouTube, and I was like, oh, no, check this out. This is like our video from the racing game that I play, and it was really cool. So that just in and of itself, it was like a really cool time. I don't have a particular like match that I remember as like my most memorable match, but it wasn't Empire. And then what was the second part of the question?
Your favorite vehicle and why?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I answered that earlier. I love the muscle car. I think it's just, it's so quick. It has great wings. It can fly. Like its nitro is awesome. It's, to me, like pound for pound, it's the best vehicle. I mean, I know like hover bike does great in some things, and other vehicles do great in other things as well. But like for me, like my daily grinder, like if I'm not trying to do mastery, which basically seems to consume all of my time these days, and I'm just like running cups, like I'm running monster or muscle car, like, for all my cups, for my boss fights, for everything. It's just muscle car, muscle car. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and Dev, what about you?
So favorite car, I mean, same thing, muscle car.
Yeah.
It does everything great. What was the first part again?
Memorable
Most
match
memorable match.
on Empire.
Oh, yes. So when Empire first formed, to be honest, I can't remember if it was our first or second season, but we had a match with Discord, kind of similar to what Mox was saying with North. But it was like, I remember waking up, 6 a.m. There was about 30 minutes left, and I want to say there was like 25 of the team online, and everybody's running tickets. Like, it's back and forth. It was in and out, up and down, so close. And in the end, we ended up taking the win. And maybe Mox or RT will remember, but I want to say it was our first season as Empire. But we ended up taking down Discord by, it was about 3 points. In the end, we just snaked by, and everybody was on, everybody was cheering each other on, and we're all going on, and it was just fun. It was just fun. I mean, it was a group experience. Everybody adding a point here and there, and in the end, it made the difference.
Yep.
So.
No, I definitely remember the match. I don't remember who came through in the end, but I remember there being so many people online, and everyone's like typing in game chat, like, "Oh, no, we're down 7 now. Holy, smack! Like we're up 3, and like it was absolutely crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge. There were so many people online. Not just in the server, but in the game, and everybody's just like going crazy, and we're like, "Hey, we're doing it. This is it. We're doing it," and we did. And it was cool. I mean, yeah,
Very
that was
nice.
hands down my favorite match.
Yeah. That is indeed memorable. Pete?
Yes. I've got a question here from Blackguard89. And he says, I don't know if this has been answered in the past or not, but may still be something to talk about. Why is the tank not in the team event anymore? And I'm going to answer that with, look back on season 2, episode 2 with FS Reese, David and Sala, and they go into a bit of details why that is.
Yeah,
so if you want to find out, that's why. Yeah, go on.
And Flip, he already answered that for him.
He's like, yes.
He's like, we are not Fingersoft, and it's because of the war, and move on.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Next.
So I'm going to ask the question from SB Rat. For guests and hosts, what type of player do you like playing with? People that score well but are a pain, or just all-round good people? And we'll start off with Eva.
Well, Pete, you probably know the answer to this. I love playing
good players.
With just amazing people. Like,
yep.
Like the reason I play on a team is because of COVID, like a few other people. I was stuck at home in I just recently moved to a new place, didn't know a lot of people. COVID hit and I had nowhere to go. I couldn't go more than 5Ks. Melbourne was one of the worst cities in the world for lockdowns. So having a group of people that were all encouraging each other and being friendly with each other made playing the game my escape, if that makes sense. So it was always about great people and not about great players and how good a score someone could give.
Yep.
Yeah. Jack Rabbit?
Oh, my answer still stands. It's Pete. It's Pete, not other people. It's just Pete.
Oh, it's the
No,
beard.
well, because it's we've been playing or in a team for so long, and we've been doing the podcast, and we've been like talking on DM or anything, just about anything. On, of course, team and game related. But I think Pete is overall a very cool guy, a very patient guy, and a very nice guy overall. I'm sure you understand, Eva. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's his beard. It's dreamy.
Get a
You two,
room.
stop it.
Get a room.
Yeah, I'm going to move on to Dev now.
Okay.
Thanks, Jack Rabbit, for your answer.
Mm-hmm.
And with his beard, you can't tell if he's blushing or not.
Exactly.
Sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. Devastator?
This is going to go back to what we talked about earlier. I don't care if you score well, honestly. Like, I don't care if you're the 14-year-old with the fastest thumbs in the world. If you're coming in the server thinking you're God's gift, no. I mean, we're gonna humbly ask you to, walk away. I would much rather have somebody on the team that is, has a good mindset and wants to improve the team as a whole. Because remember, it's not just 50. It's not just 200. We're talking about 700 plus, on a team. And so, no, we want a good community. And this goes back to the toxic thing. If you're great, and as far as scores go, but you're somewhat okay in the server, we'll let it slide. Leaders will talk. But, if you're all out disrespectful, no. I mean, you just have to go. So I would much rather have kind-hearted people in the server and on the teams than high scorers.
Well said. Moxie?
I agree with Dev. I mean, it'd be a perfect world. You score well and you're a great person. But, in the past, we've had our share of good scorers that outside of the game and in the community are pieces of shit. So I'd much rather have people that are nice and friendly and work together as a team than your 45, 50K people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice. I'm going to go before RT, and I'm going to say I like people who are active in chat. So, you can be an awesome player and not chat at all, and I find that boring. Like it's just, I don't enjoy it. So I like to be a chatty kind of guy. But also, if you're being annoying to everyone, I'll put you back in your place. So, don't be annoying. Be kind. Then I'll be happy. Doesn't matter what sort of scores you get. Yeah. RT, you're on mute, but are you able to talk?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute. My headphones keep dying, or my AirPods, so I keep plugging them in.
Okay.
For me, I mean, I'm just gonna echo what everybody else has said. I mean, more important than anything else is like how you are as a person and the type of value that you add to the server more than your scoring. Obviously, we want great scorers, but like you mentioned, actually specifically, like someone that's like really active, like that. People don't realize how much value that actually adds to a server and to a team. Just being conversational, like talking to people, because it makes people feel involved and included, and it keeps that dialogue going. It keeps your server interesting. It keeps the game chat interesting because there's stuff going on. Like there's teams where like the game chat or the Discord server is like almost dead. Like you see all the dead chat memes all the time. Like it really like drags down the team. So having someone that is active and that's a great person, I'll take that any day above like the highest score.
Absolutely. Well said, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, you're up, Eva.
Okay, so
keeping
this
in
is
mind
from...
we're coming up to 3 hours, just so everybody knows.
Yeah. So this is for Jaxie. This is from Jaxie. What is your favorite public event mode? And if you could make your dream team event, what would each track be? Oh, I like that question. I really like that question. Let's start with Dev.
Well, I just have this in my notepad. Most embarrassing moment? Nope. My favorite public event mode. It's gonna be long jump.
Oh yeah.
So
on the moon or normal?
It doesn't matter. I just love it. So you find different ways around it and find ways to just get it done. I mean, it's one of my favorites because I don't have to use jump shocks.
Yeah. Agreed. Cool.
And he wanted to know if we had to pick our perfect TE event. Yeah. So I have to put time attack in there. Whatever it may be.
Not for all tracks.
Yep. Not all tracks, no. But
awesome.
I would love it. Time attack, long jump. Throw in a 2K speed run.
Oh yeah.
I like those.
Yep.
And then a wheelie if RT or buggy are available.
RT, make sure you're available.
Just to be clear, I was referring to racing truck.
Racing truck. Yes. But Pete, I love the segue.
But good stuff, yeah.
Good work.
I love that team event, by the way. That'd be a good one.
Yep. Yep. Moxie, what about yourself?
My favorite public event would be the non-moon long jump.
Okay.
Where just break the bus in half and just do a little tap, 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 tap. Get it to go all the way up. I really enjoy that.
With fume or thrusters?
No, thrusters. Break it in half and then thrust up.
Wow.
Hats off to Moxie because I cannot fly a broken bus.
No.
I've tried. So
it ends up spinning and just going down like a brick.
Oh yeah, 60 meters in, I'm done. Yeah.
Yep.
Hats off to Moxie.
And what about your team event, Moxie? What would you have in your team event?
I would do one of those long jumps. I really like the floor is lava.
Oh yeah, they're good.
So one of those. Maybe a no fuel. Not one of those crazy uphill ones, but something more tame.
Yeah.
And then one of the long forgotten target tracks.
I was just thinking that.
Points.
Yeah, target practice.
You're right. We haven't seen those in a long time.
Yep. And I'd take a target practice over a soccer ball kick anytime. I think I've scored more on a soccer ball kick with my eyes shut than I have with actually playing. Yeah. Anyway, what about you, RT?
I don't think I really have like a favorite public. I like ones where they're more skill based and random based. So I hate the football kick or like you guys were saying the soccer ball and the ones where it's like all prefixed parts like this one right now. Like I think it's unique and different to do a multi jump without actually being able to jump. I just wish you could like choose your own parts. Which I think would defeat the purpose because everyone would jump, move to wings, jump shocks, and landing boost. So yeah, I'm like pretty open. Like Mock said he hated the moon ones. I kind of like the moon ones. It's because they're pretty easy to get. Like a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. Even before hover bike, it was just bust, jump, flip, or thrust. So those would be my favorite there. And then my ideal team event, like I said earlier, something that doesn't involve like kangaroo all the time. So if like even the time attacks, right? Even when they do the 4 or 5 track time attacks, they're still like kangaroo time attacks. So if we can get such a map where it's not like a kangaroo map, where it has more to do with like skill of like landing somewhere and whatever angles, stuff like that, as opposed to like knowing when to jump or when to release shocks. That would be like my ideal, just a bunch of tracks like that. And I do like we used to do like the distance ones, but they weren't always like the whatever, the premium forest one or something like that like makes it much more difficult. Just use like regular forest, like use moon for distance. Just make the distance really far for like 10 or 15K. Make it like, I don't know, 2,500 meters. But just give you like regular maps, not these like maps that are really difficult to to even get like 2,000 meters on. I think that just makes it more fun.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. And if you wanted to create your own team event, you'd put all of those together?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. JR, your turn.
Yes, this is a question from Sean. Thank you for posting your question. And he would like to ask, how stressful is it to be leading one of the best teams in the game? How do you keep the balance between pro players that bounce around every month and the loyal members that stick with you month after month? Dev, what are your thoughts on this?
I think we kind of already covered this one in a nutshell, but I mean, I'll elaborate quickly, but it's, you have to keep that balance. You have to know what you're doing. That's the reason that we have so many leaders and senior leaders and recruitment leaders and everything like that. Is what is important. Who's doing good, not just score wise, but who's being a good person, a good influence to the community, and just trying to make that good balance. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer here, but my answer is going to be just, we make decisions as a whole, honestly, and want the best for the team.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's very cool.
Yeah. Mox, what do you think?
I don't really have as much to say on that because I'm a leader, but I'm not as involved. So I guess I don't really have an input on that.
Okay.
It's balanced.
And RT, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Deb said. We've touched on it a lot throughout the podcast so far. But I mean, it's being able to have people that are there that have your back that can step up at any time to help in any type of capacity. So it's stressful in the sense that we're running 7 teams at every single season, and usually 3 of them are in CC and the other ones aren't by choice. But it's knowing that if I'm really, really busy with work, with life, with whatever, that's okay. I don't need to be there because I've got 10 other guys, 12 other guys, whatever it is, that all step up for everybody. Right. So Dev has a tough time. I have a tough time, whoever, it doesn't really matter. We have such a large group of leaders that are all active and involved and care that it doesn't matter. It's okay to take a step away. We had, one of our guys, I won't mention his name, but he had, sort of a situation come up, I think, about a week ago where he was essentially incapacitated from the sense that he couldn't, be on his phone. He couldn't be on Discord. He had some stuff going on in his personal life, and he was a very involved person, and that was okay. And everyone said hey, don't worry about the game. Just get better, bro. We're good. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. And I mean, I think that's huge. Having that, I've had times myself where I've had to, step back for, a couple weeks, a couple days, a month, here and there, where there's just so much going on. And I know that it's okay. It's fine to do because everybody else is going to step up. So, yeah.
Yes.
Agreed.
Well said.
Yep.
Well said. Piet, another question?
Yeah. There's a question from IM, but I feel like we've already gone through it. So the question was, how seriously do you consider loyalty on CC teams or any for that matter on Empire? I feel like we've already gone through that a fair bit. So I'll move on to Vereshak, his first question on the podcast.
Hang on, is that the real Vereshak or one of the other 1,000 imposters?
No.
It's the E1 Vereshak.
It is the real one because I prompted him, and I said,
"Oh, you did."
I said you need to ask a question. He's like, okay.
He didn't prompt a question. He prompted him to ask a question. So this is
Yes.
Vereshak's own question.
Yes.
All right.
Let's have it.
So the question is, if you could have one superpower, what would it be? And we'll start off with Dev.
I could fly.
Yeah.
Yep. Superman has always been my thing. So you know how many times I've jumped off the top of play sets and stuff like that, and I just hit the ground.
And you've hit the ground.
Have you done skydiving, Dev?
No, I have not.
I have. You should give it a try. It's very similar to flying. It's just you're flying downwards.
And then you wear a Superman cape when you do.
I'm sure I would love it.
Don't forget the tights, Dev. The tights. You got to have the tights.
Yes, exactly.
And your underwear has to be on the outside.
And then you send us a picture, okay?
I'll send you a picture of Christopher Reeves.
Of Christopher Reeves. Is that what you call your underwear now? Hang on, we've got to remember that there are people listening to this podcast who don't know who Christopher Reeve is. So
it's because they're too young. They're too young.
They're too young, yeah. So just Google Christopher Reeve and go, oh my God, there was a Superman before there was a Superman.
Yes. So the answer to that question, yes. One superpower, I could fly. Yeah.
Awesome. And Moxie?
I would love to be invisible.
Wow.
What would you do if you were invisible for 24 hours?
The spy.
Who knows? I would just love to walk around and have no one see me, and you get to notice everything without everyone noticing you. And so much
So,
you can do.
would your clothes also be invisible, or would you have to be naked
Yeah.
walking around?
I don't know. What would you prefer?
I'd love to have you walking around naked, being invisible, and then accidentally forgetting what time you started, and then all of a sudden, bam.
Become visible.
Well, on a side note, Mox, I can tell you that when you get to about being 50 and you're average looking, you do that. You walk into places and people don't notice you. So you don't want to be invisible, trust me. Because I'm used to it. People just ignore me. I'm in line in places and I get people served around me. And
It's
I
not
just look
true.
Oh, they do. They do. They do.
Everybody loves you.
Oh.
RT, how about yourself?
I think, well, both being invisible and being able to fly would be really cool. For me, I would probably choose being able to read someone's mind or like hear what they're thinking, but being able to turn it off. So not always constantly like, hearing everything like going on, because that would drive you crazy. But I feel like it would really help me win arguments against my wife to start with. So
I was going to say that would have been helpful for 2 ex-wives, but not anymore.
There you go. So I think in my line of work, being able to like understand what people are thinking would be really helpful. I think it would just be it'd be really cool. Like 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 you're trying to talk to someone about something and you can hear them thinking like, oh, this guy's like a jerk, or he just talks too much, or he's only talking about himself, or he blah 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 blah. You can kind of like pivot and change the way that you are talking based on that, or like what
hang on. By that note, you're either in sales or you're a psychiatrist.
Neither. I do investments for a living, so I invest in like private equity, venture capital, hedge funds, stuff like that.
Cool. Okay. No, well, in that case, it would be very necessary.
It would be, negotiating and stuff. I mean, there's an art to it, but like when you can actually read the other person's mind, like it's like a game changer.
Yeah.
But more importantly, at home with my wife and with my 12-year-old, where I get him to do his homework.
How about you, Jack Rabbit? What would your superpower be?
I would like to teleport.
Oh, so that's better than flying. That's better than flying. You don't get the hair messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
a
like
big
to
issue for
teleport
you, is it?
and see some friends in different places. People,
that would
friends.
be a good one.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Pete?
How about you, Eva? I will go with Eva first.
Okay.
I actually like RTs of being able to read minds. Because a lot of times I've been in that situation where I just gone, am I actually getting anywhere with this person, or am I wasting my time? And I'd love to know. I hate people wasting my time, and for me, that would be a game changer for me. Like, am I really spending all this time on someone that doesn't deserve my time when I could be giving my time to someone who really appreciates what I can do for them, etc., in both, my private life and my work life too. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to read my mind.
Your mind would be very interesting, I think.
Yes, I think so too. Yep, indeed.
It's kind of green. Okay, Pete, your question.
What about you?
I've got a couple of options. My first option for superpowers would be have the skill to play hill climb as Vereshak does, or super strength.
Super strength. Okay.
Like
Interesting.
being able to push the Eiffel Leaning Tower of Pisa back straight up.
Oh, hang on. You're just stealing this from Superman.
Or if like a car accident happens, I could just lift it up and help everybody. Stuff like that.
Yep.
Would be super cool.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we have one more question left, and this is from No Fall. I don't know who that is, but shout out to No Fall. And he's asked all three of you. We'll do this the same
Jesus
way.
Christ.
We'll ask this the same way. On the count of three, he's asked, "What do you think of me?" So 1, 2, 3, everybody.
I have no idea.
Don't know.
I don't know him.
Dev,
I know
do you know
No Fall.
Radio silence.
I know who No Fall is.
Oh,
Who is
geez.
he?
Okay.
No Fall is somebody who was trying to get into an Empire team for about 2 months. And because I responded once, he messaged me in DMs. Like, oh, how do I do it? Can you help me? I'm like,
So,
not
on that
really.
note,
I'm not in
on that
Empire.
Oh,
on
he
that note,
really wanted.
can I make a suggestion? Can you just tell us what the password is?
Yeah.
Long kept secrets.
He's all good. He made it there eventually. He's in the YouTube team.
No,
All right.
I'm just
All right,
staring.
so-
Sorry, I was just staring. I don't want the password.
So, to be honest, yeah. So, look at Flip's last comment to him, and he said,
Yep.
"Oh, thanks. We'll put this on the podcast." And his last question was, "Who is Devastator?" And Flip's like, "This is perfect. I'll tell him to put it on there." I'm assuming he's a younger guy. So, hey, No Fall, shout out to you.
Yep.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. It just encourages people. All right, JR, are you ready for Never Have I Ever?
Yes, this is the Never Have I Ever quiz. Just so everyone knows, I made the first quiz, the first version of the quiz, because of the new Chaos podcast episode. So, Dev, this is a different set of questions. This is the Never Have I Ever Hill Climb Racing 2 edition, 1 point each for everything that you have never done before. Okay, is everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Eva,
Okay.
you ready?
Can we answer them in the order of Dev, Mox, and RT, please?
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
So the first question is, have you ever reached the maximum GP? Dev?
No.
Mox?
No.
RT?
No.
Nope. Okay. Next question. Have you ever achieved the maximum 15K score in a track? Dev?
Yes.
Mox?
Yes.
RT?
Yes.
I
And
pre-filled
me.
it.
And me also, yes.
I pre-filled that before you guys answered anyway. But
I was thinking that too. The third question. Let's go to the third question. Have you ever finished the road to legendary? Dev?
Yes.
Mox?
Yes.
And RT?
Yes.
Cool. Next question. Have you ever started your own team? Dev?
Yes.
Mox?
Yes.
RT?
Never.
Never. Okay, there's one never. Next question. Have you ever spent real money in the game? Dev?
Yes. Yes.
And Mox?
Yes.
RT?
Yes.
Next question. Have you ever participated in any HCR2 tournament? Dev?
Yes.
Mox?
Yes.
What about RT?
Yes, the first one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And next question. Have you ever thought of giving up playing the game? Dev.
Every day.
Mox, what about you?
Yeah.
Yeah. RT?
Absolutely. Just like Dev said, every day.
Okay. And number 8, have you ever posted a suggestion in the Fingersoft server? Dev.
Yes.
Mox?
Yes.
RT.
No, I'm banned.
Ah, for how long? No, that's not part of the question.
I'm assuming it's like a lifelong IP ban. I don't know, or like a username ban. But yeah, no, I've got my Discord username since I started, and I got banned 4 years ago. So
I have another question, but we will make it longer. Going back to the quiz. Number 9, have you ever reported a cheater to the Fair Play server? Dev.
Yes.
Mox?
Yes.
RT.
I don't remember. Maybe. So yes, I'll go with yes. More likely than no.
Yes. Okay, so you have. Number 10, have you had your account flagged for cheating? Dev.
No.
Mox?
No.
And RT.
Yes.
Okay. Next question, have you ever been banned? There's the question. Have you ever been banned in any HCR or the Fingersoft server? Dev.
No.
No?
No.
Mox?
Yes.
Yes. And RT? Yes.
Of course. Yes.
Last question. Have you ever done a face reveal on any Discord server, not including this server? Dev?
Well, yeah, you see my beautiful face all over the place.
We have. And Mox?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you have. And RT?
Yes, once only, and I regret it, which is why I don't anymore.
Oh.
All
Okay.
right. Well, that's a surprise because Mox has come out the leader. 3 nevers versus the other 2 4s, but they've been all over the place, which is really cool. It's interesting. So Mox, you're the winner of this
This
episode.
round.
Yeah,
Yep.
but and 3 is credible. That's kind of almost there. But 2 is definitely the winner, which you're not. And don't despair because nobody actually gets anything value as being a winner on this team, on this event. It's just a bit of fun, a bit of a laugh. So thank you for just enjoying the questions and having a bit of a laugh with us. On that note, it's kind of reaching the end of the podcast, which is a bit of a shame because I feel like I could talk to you guys for probably, twice as long without having to really feel like it's a chore. So I personally wanted to say a big thank you for Devastator and Mox for coming back and for spending some more time with us. And RT, it's been lovely to hear your thoughts and all of that stuff on the game, and Empire as a server as well, and a team and a team environment. So we usually don't say to people, join a team or anything else. We try and keep as neutral as possible, but you can't help not fall in love with what you've just guys described as a team. So I'll leave that as it is. But yeah, big thanks for spending some time with us. Pete, over to you.
Yeah, thank you guys for jumping on. We've had fun over the past couple of episodes chatting with all the Empire dudes. Yeah, super good to get to know everyone. So thank you for jumping on. And Jack Rabbit. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go.
Yeah. Before I say my thank yous, is there anyone who you would like to shout out in Empire and other teams in the Discord server? Dev, you go first.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, everyone, honestly. We have a huge team of guys. Pickles, Isaac, get your head out of your ass. let's do it. Come on, guys. They're going to be the future, of Empire. Really, they are. To all the OGs, RT, Dude Mon, Bearshack, Rex. I'm leaving tons out, but I mean, everybody, it's great. It's a great community, and I'm proud to be here. And enjoy the podcast.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And what about you, Mox? Any shout outs?
I just want to say thanks for having me on, and
Mm-hmm.
Rex, I'll be meeting with you soon.
Cool.
Cool. Make that happen. RT, what about you? Your shout outs.
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of did a little bit earlier, but yeah, I mean, like to our up and coming guys that are grinding away and adding tons and tons of value to the team and to the server. Pickles, Jaxie, Missio, Isaac, you guys have been awesome. I'm sure I'm forgetting others as well. And then to like our senior leader group, like all in all, like you guys are amazing. I think you do a phenomenal job. You do the heavy lifting when any of us can't. So thank you so much for that, like across the board. And then thank you to you guys as well, like for having us on. Like it's great to actually meet you and sit down and talk. I feel it was really cool. It was a lot of fun, like getting to know you and getting, honestly for me, getting to know Dev and Moxie better too. Like, despite the fact that we've played together for years, you're always kind of like learning new stuff about people. And Dev, name the time and the place for that, group Empire meetup, and my ass is there, like hands down. I've already met a couple of people in real life from my teams that I've played on, and one of them is actually like one of my best friends in real life now, and I met him playing the game, and we don't even live like anywhere close to each other. I'm actually going to his wedding in a month, so shout out to. He doesn't play the game anymore, but shout out to Disco from way back in the day on Smoking Clutch. Congrats on the wedding. I'll be there in a month, and his bride Stacy that he met on the game.
Wow!
Thank you guys.
Wow!
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 Congrats, dude. Yeah,
that is really
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Tessa will be very, very impressed with that, because she said to me when I joined Team Cats many years ago that there would be wedding proposals because my name was Eva. But it's happened in real life, and that is really amazing.
It's a crazy story for another time, but yeah, like it's happening in October, the beginning of October. I'm flying there, and then I'm flying on a business trip right afterward the next day, but it's going to be awesome. Like I've been there from the start.
Does Fingersoft know about this? Does Fingersoft know about this?
I doubt it.
Well, they will know after
they
this
will now.
because they listen. So that is really, really cool. Like that's pretty amazing. I'm kind of shocked actually, but no, that is amazing. Really, really awesome.
Well, if you follow Bearshack's story, right? I mean, from where he came, and what, as a toddler, right? Pretty much. I mean, yeah, it's incredible. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Indeed. Well, this is probably going to go down as one of the longest episodes.
I think we've outdone Gutter Butter.
Yep, you've outdone Gutter Butter. Mind you, there are 3 of you. And we didn't do our bits to start with, which kind of took a good half hour out of the episode as well. So I just wanted to say, if you are still listening at this end of this podcast and you've enjoyed what you like,
Congratulations.
yeah, please do like and subscribe, and follow us. Leave us a comment about your favorite part. And just we really appreciate having listeners who are commenting and sharing our podcast. The other day I saw someone, it was actually Flip, who had cut and pasted a little bit of our podcast in the Canada server because someone had used the word bra, as in bro. And he cut and pasted a little snippet of Lady Ains' response to what she thought people who use the word bruh to her needed to happen. It's quite, it was explicit. You had to hear the beeps. But it was hilarious. I'm like, we're being cut and paste. We're being shared in many different ways. So I was really impressed. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you again to Dev, to Mox, and to RT for spending some time with us. When I say sometime, it's more than 5 minutes, like Dev's last appearance on the podcast.
Touche.
So thank you again. I will have fun editing this. I will be editing it tomorrow because as of Tuesday I'll be on leave and I'll be out of the country. So it'll be up tomorrow evening for you guys listening that won't understand what that is. But for everybody in the podcast at the moment, you'll have it tomorrow evening because I'll work on it tomorrow. And yeah, thanks everybody. Have a lovely night. Have a good week and couple of weeks, and catch up with you very soon. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.